hello there, person who had this video start auto-playing. So I tested out these streams. They're pretty freaking cool. I really like just talking. I'm sorry if that's, you know, not the stuff that you're used to, especially with this, you know how it is. Unfortunately. I mean, I could be like, you know, typical anime girl number 3. I actually have one of those saved. Favorites? I could be like, I mean, it's all kind of the same. You know, I could be this, but we're not gonna do that, alright? No. I'm not, no. You see that? No. Hell, no. We don't like that. Also, if you saw, hover over, Quest compatible, I spent a hot minute freaking decimating the shit out of this avatar. It was so difficult because I wanted it to at least blink still, or, you know, like be able to move the eyes. The ears don't matter as much, but as long as the mouth and the eyes moved, that was actually really hard to do. Like, really hard. That really sucked. I did not put up my overlay again, because I am a freaking novice. Hold on. Load. I was also planning. Let me also switch to the stream camera real quick. Let me do a little bit of that. Boom. A little bit of boom. You see that? That's a lot better. I mean, it's rather close. That's a little better. But, so, I was messing with them things. I've also done a little bit more espionage, and I could still say that VR chat category is pretty terrifying still. Like, I like to think of myself as a little light bulb in a dark place. I don't know if that's... I might just be contributing. Who knows? But, I was thinking, because I actually look down to read the chat a lot. And that kind of sucks. So I'm probably going to figure out... I decided I could do a bunch of prep work, or I could just stream already and do all the prep work during the stream, because min-maxing time, I don't know. I have no clue. Hello, Nightwing. You don't know if you've said that before? I'm doing great. I appreciate you for stopping by. And I appreciate you for, you know, all the small streamers out there. I don't know if you're going to stop by or stay or anything, but we appreciate you. I say this actually a lot of streams now, because there's a lot of, like, the viewers that hop the small streamers, like, you know, they're dope. Axel Gust is back. Hello there. The ads are finally over. I know, pre-roll ads suck. If you need an ad block recommendation, sorry, I have to remember, you're watching the camera, so this is left to right. Yeah. TTV LOL. That actually gets rid of all the ads. It's pretty nice. uBlock Origin, like, doesn't, but TTV LOL does, luckily. So I allow you to use ad block on any of my stuff. I don't like ads either. How'd you know that you do that? Because there's no other way people are gonna find me, you know? You gotta be specifically looking for a small streamer and or a furry streamer. Typically both. I mean, self-proclaimed furry right here. No, keep getting Papa John's ads. I'm glad I never have to deal with Twitch ads. They're kind of like big cringe. Or so I've heard. They're real big cringe. Axel Ghost. I called out Axel Ghost. That's literally what they did. They looked up furry, probably RimWorld, but then they, you know, went for the small streamer. Actually, I don't know how my fucking furries stream RimWorld, like 2. You know, there's gotta be more furries doing war crimes, right? RimWorld's the great game, by the way. Also, I appreciate the follow, Unknown. I don't know who you are, Unknown, but I appreciate you. I'm doing alright. Hello. I appreciate you following before you even decide to chat. That's pretty wild. Sorry, so I was gonna do a little bit of this, because you notice I'm looking down a lot. because, you know, streamers always have the Twitch chat on their hand. It's like, that kind of sucks. So I was going to reposition the chat because it kind of sucks having this like this. If I just like create a new thing, or you know what, I'll just completely break my overlay. You're not gonna be able to see it, unfortunately. Well, you could technically if I did the Steam mirror, which a lot of people do, but that doesn't have stabilization and that kind of sucks, so we're not gonna do that. You didn't use RimWorld, you just went to the game with the furry tag and lowest viewer. Damn. And I just happened to be playing RimWorld that you like. Okay. Cool. That's pretty cool though. Yeah, it's awesome that people are actually able to find me. It's surprising. Especially, you know, I don't know. Ever since I had that furry tag, which was only like the past few streams. Honestly, I've only done that tag since the past few streams, and now people are showing up, and now I'm kind of concerned. No, you know, there's a lot of Overwatch. Interesting. Furry streamers like Overwatch specifically? Huh. I'm still trying to figure out the freaking overlay, by the way. Apologies. I need to attach it to the world. And then I gotta like grab it, but I gotta unlock it, and then I gotta move it, and then I gotta I gotta make it bigger too, because I can't see the chat because it's actually OBS. And then I lock it, and then I do opacity, and boom, min-maxed. There we go, 75%. See that? I could look at you while looking at chat. I don't even have to look at my hands. And then let me also save that. Okay, cool. I use excess overlay, by the way, if you're curious, because it's a pretty good overlay. I like it. Also changed. How do you even have more? Why is there still gameplay value to that? Like, I know it's a story-based game, but how the hell are so many people playing it? Like, it's got to get like, there's got to be a point where everyone's played it, right? Like, I don't know. You clicked enter on it. Oh, I see. You're good. There we go. Is my mouth still moving? Yes, it is. Okay, so if you know me, actually, I gotta play the rule of thirds again. Hold on. I'm a proper. Well, it kind of looks weird if I'm over there. I'm trying to position myself in my actual room. I'm like right next to a door, like right here. And that's a wall, actually. Oh, there's the door. It's right there. So I don't want to actually, like, die. So, watch Puro gameplay back in 2014. That's an old-ass game, too. I luckily have not played that game. I just know of it. Because, yeah. Yeah. I have too much fun with this avatar, too. I love this just slight gesture of glare and ears down. Just very subtle. I'm gonna master this avatar. I'm gonna get more gestures. It's gonna be awesome. So, what was I saying? I was saying, because I don't think we have a topic right now. I was saying how I go through like a lot of conversations just like alone. Like after that one stream, or the one stream, you know, the whatever day I did it. Saturday, I think it was. The first VR chat stream, the debut, my VTuber debut, you know? No, I don't even want to get into that stuff, but it was 2018. Oh, okay. Still concerning though. 4 years, almost 5. I don't know why I checked my watch for that. It's like I forgot the date. Excess overlay does have a watch though that tells you the date and like time, so I'm not like looking at this just for comedic effect, which I would do, by the way, but I no longer do. I actually have a time on here. I used to do that back in the day when I had no overlay. It was pretty awesome. I always trick people. I'd look at my watch and they would be like, "Yo, are you actually looking at the time?" I'm like, "No, I'm just a good role player." I mean, I've done LPD stuff for a while. That's the main roleplay stuff I do. But I was talking, you know, I go through conversations a lot. Like right after the stream ended, I was like, you know what? if I was still talking, I'd be talking about this, and I'd also realize that my voice was completely destroyed. Like, I could barely talk the next day and the night of, because it was bad. Like, I did way too much talking that day. I also gotta remember, I gotta, like, walk around. And I also gotta remember, I should probably, like, zoom out the camera, because I don't know if you want me, like, all up in your face. Like, as funny as it is, as funny as this view is, I gotta save it for, like, you know, special moments. So let me move that back. Oh, that is inside the wall. I gotta, like, world anchor this. I still have my overlay up too. So it's kind of hard. I have to, like, go around my... Okay, hold on. We're gonna do this. Oh god, it's so difficult. I didn't realize that having the overlay, you know, I can't interact past the overlay because there's a freaking overlay. I touch OBS now. I'll figure out something. Is that good enough? I think that's good enough. I'm gonna just back up right next to my nice little door right here. Hopefully I don't die because I don't want to, you know, fall over. It is... I mean, I could move like this, but I can't. It's not easy. But looking at your arm, sticking your hand into the front part of your head, yeah, I do a lot of VR adjustments here, because you know, this avatar is a little strange. It's got big ol' nose there. So my VR headset is actually, like, right about here. So that's why I phase in. That just so you know, just for your information. But what I was thinking was, so I run a bot. It's called Everyone Votes on Discord. It runs polls, and there was a poll today. It was about like, if you were able to talk about something to a crowd of people for 1 hour, like, what would it be? And I was thinking, wow, shit, I literally just did that Saturday, kind of, except it was not one topic. It was, like, you know, amalgamation of a bunch of crap. But I was thinking about it, and I thought sociology was actually a really good one, because I always like thinking about how people think and interact in just everything, right? And I was thinking about it, and I was like, that'd be a good challenge, right? Like, an hour of just uninterrupted one topic, try to find something that you could talk about, like, in that topic. As much I'd like to do it on stream, I don't think I can, because it's like, then I can't really interact with chat all too much, because then I'm stuck on a one topic. But if I were to, I was thinking about it, because I freaking think about all the conversations I do. Except the impromptu ones, but we're not onto those yet. We're still on the back burner stuff yet. You know, I planned all of these in advance. I kind of over, you know, emphasize it. I'm not just thinking about these conversations, but you know, I have a long bus ride home. I'm thinking about these conversations, you know. But it's like the mediums of conversation, right? For sociology, right? So I was thinking about it because, you know, I'm talking on VR chat of all places. Like, this isn't real life, but it's starting to get really close compared to, like, hello, bruh. Sometimes you're just here. Well, I appreciate you just being here, bruh. For real. I was thinking, like, I'm talking through a VR medium. Like, it's not real life. Of course, streaming in general, I'm not talking to anyone really. Except bruh's always here. He's here in spirit. He's, like, right next to me. He's real nice. He likes fishing too. But I was thinking about it. I was like, VR is, like, kind of a crazy medium, because it's, like, kind of the closest you could get in online conversation to be, like, between, like, IRL and online, right? That's, like, the closest border we have right now. It's kind of crazy. This isn't me IRL. I know. I'm sorry to break it to you. It's very unfortunate, but I'm not recording this live on a webcam. It's just the sad truth. I know. And yeah, you know, he, bruh does like fishing. I know bruh very well. You know, I know one hobby very well. But yeah, I was thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know. Sociology is just a great topic. I really like that topic. I don't know if anyone else likes it. It's probably a lot more boring than, you know, like the actual internet topics we covered, but I was thinking about it. I was thinking, you know, that'd be a good topic, or like a challenge to do at some point. You're not the same height as your VR character. So you see, it's inversely proportional. The smaller you are in VR, the taller you are IRL, because, you know, people who are short want to be taller, people who are tall want to be shorter. I think that's kind of how it works. So this is inversely proportional, so I'm about, you know, 9'4" IRL, something like that. How could you tell I'm short? Is it because of the couch right here? This couch that I'm actually is also a corner of a wall. I'm so scared. I have walls all around here, and I'm just too lazy to mess with the camera. You're a living average. Whoa. So you're just, if you were in VR, you'd just be the average, you know, avatar. You wouldn't be a big old buff character. You just average out. Theoretically, hypothetically speaking, it is confusing me though. Like I keep forgetting that this is an overlay. I don't actually have this open. I can actually still move around and walk. Like I could take you outside the quote unquote boat. Look at that boat. That's a good looking boat. I could stand on the edge, be super dark. I mean, there's actually pretty good lighting in this world, surprisingly. For what it is. Pretty good. But what I was thinking was, so you see this mirror behind me. You see, also, this is my tail, by the way. I don't know if, oh, I forgot. So I forgot the collider somehow got like deleted, so it kind of goes through the floor, but I fixed that, you know, don't worry. But I rented this houseboat, exactly. There's pens here. I never usually realize it because I always just turn on the mirror, but there's some pens here. I could draw some shit. You know, if I ever needed to do a presentation, I could always, you know, go to like this wall or like something. This wall. And, you know, be like, how does it show up? Does it even show up? I don't even know if it captures it. Does it? Oh, no, it's right there. No, it's just black, so it doesn't it doesn't actually translate very well. Darn. Maybe a different color, huh? I just want to experiment a little bit. Maybe a good old white. Because just in case I need to, you know, illustrations. Like, I always think of it like that one guy, the one meme where he's like talking at the whiteboard and looking at the camera and then writing stuff down and it's all sped up. That's what I want to remake that at some point. I don't know if I'm gonna do it like normally. Maybe you could speed up this clip in post, but if I like start writing stuff down, like number 2, I think that shows up a lot better. Yeah, it shows up a lot better. Do the Disney Channel logo. Oh crap. That's actually a good one. Well, I mean, this one's not blue, but hold on. We got blue. We got plenty of colors. All right, Disney Channel logo. I gotta get into like the corner of the screen though. All right, you're watching Disney Channel. Fuck. Hold on. Is there there's a reset button. Disney Channel. Crap. I moved the OBS thing because the overlay is interactable. I should maybe lock that. let me press the big old lock button here. There you go. Now you're not movable. I might accidentally press the stop stream button if I actually do this. Maybe it is better if I do it on the hand. I don't know. You are watching the Disney Channel. Don't worry, I'm gonna get this logo down. So it's like, crap, it goes this way. Oh god. I don't even remember the Disney Channel logo. It's a circle, and it's, boom, you're watching Disney Channel. bruh. No. You know, I'm trying my darndest out here. I don't know. I was just saying, you know, we have drawing utensils. I also keep not looking at the camera. The camera's right over here. I'm looking at where I am on my OBS. Camera's right there. Hello. I was also wondering if the other world that we were at actually has a camera as well. I was gonna check that out, or not a camera, a pen, because that world has a nice ass background, but I don't know if it has pens in it. Because pens are pretty useful. You could add them to your avatar, but that's lame. Hello, Corn Dog. that guy, Corn Dog. I actually met him through VR chat, so it makes sense why he's here now. You know, everyone just comes out of the woodworks when you're in a VR chat avatar. They're like, yo, whoa, what is he doing? Let's go to recently visited. If I don't accidentally break my OBS while doing it. It's actually really difficult to do this. Because I gotta, like, angle my cursor not to hit, like, the OBS scenes. There we go. There we go. And I disappear and I turn into an orb. Bro's the camera guy. Oh, mirrors in the walls. Nice. You get to see the world before I even load in, too. Whoa, there I am. There I am, unmuted. I don't think there's pens in this place. Let's actually switch real quick. Let's get a close-up real quick while I fiddle with the phone camera. Like when trying to figure it out. How's this TikTok thing work? Like that. There we go. Something like this. So, this is the world. It's a good-looking world. There's music, apparently. I have everything in VR chat muted. I don't think there's pens in here, though. But what we were doing earlier, or the last time, we were actually up here, because it actually looks really nice. Just walk up here and boom. Look at that. Bunch of clouds and it looks beautiful somehow. It just looks good. And look at this. Damn. It's just such a good background. It makes for like the best like Twitch thumbnails too. Like if you saw my last stream, I actually mentioned it. Let me also turn on smoothing while I figure out the phone again and I stick the camera in my face. There you go. Smoothed. I should probably do the hand thing again. I kind of see why people don't pin their stuff. It's because pinning, yeah, I'm still interacting with it. It sucks. Let me switch back. Let me just load the other layout again. Because this one's not working out so much. I'm just gonna look at my hand. I don't want to mess with the freaking overlays. That works though. There we go. But let me whoop, do a little of that. Oh, there I am. And then do a little bit of, where am I in my world? There we go. Boom. Bang. Pow. Like, this is like the best Twitch thumbnail. Like, I think this is a good distance. I do have to like step to the left a bit, but look at that. I love this place. It is very nice. We're balling out here, exactly. But yeah, I just really like these streams because I just get to talk about nonsensical stuff. So, what topics are there? Again, there's the sociology one, but that's boring. That's a bunch of real stuff. Like, who cares about that? I wanted to talk a little bit more about my espionage in the VR chat category. So I looked again. Aether Chronicles is actually popping off because they only run Monday from 6 PST to 10 PST. So the roleplay community is like popping off right now. If you recall, I don't think anyone really saw it all too much, except maybe clowning. But I actually was in there because it's actually an open roleplay community. But it's just hard because if you don't have like a partner, then you don't have like interactions all the time. I was thinking about it because plays K-pop. Oh no, you're gonna beat the BTS out of me, man. I mean, you're the one making the references, bro. I'm sorry. Gaming. Yeah, well, gaming, VR. Also, you could always bring up topics too. If you have something you want to get off your chest, I'll put in my 2 cents, you know? But this category, roleplay category, Aether Chronicles, it's a dope roleplay community, don't get me wrong, but it's like, you need to have something there before you're actually, like, doing stuff. And even then, you're not always doing stuff, right? Because I'm very familiar with roleplay. Not in a, again, it always sounds weird, but it's not in a weird way. Like the just fun, lighthearted, in public worlds, freaking shooting the shit. It is really fun, by the way, because it's VR. You're actually immersed in everything. But with Aether Chronicles, it's like, if I mean not Aether Chronicles, but like everything in general, roleplay in general. If you don't have like someone that's guaranteed role playing with you, like a partner, like, hey, this guy's my, you know, shop owner, you know, partnership or whatever, then it's like, it's not always, you don't always have interactions. And that's like the issue, I'd think, because with downtime, it just becomes kind of boring. At least in my opinion, it becomes boring for me. The Aether Chronicles people, they're popping off. People really like watching that stuff. I don't know if they're, you know, established characters. Some of them are, most of them are, but I don't know, that stuff is kind of... it's hard to get into because there's always so much downtime if you don't have someone that you're always with at all times. It's pretty difficult. So that's just my thoughts on that. I just wanted to put that out there because I was thinking about it again. I was like, I wish there was a roleplay community that really worked out, but it's like, it doesn't. And if I did do like the LPD stuff, which is pretty good because you always have a partner, you know, it's public lobbies. You don't stream public lobbies. Some people do. They have a death wish, all right? That's just my thought on it. Ever see a homeless man with a sign? Yeah, plenty. Especially in California, you know. I don't know where you're going with that, but I'll wait for your response. You've seen with a sign that said, one day it could be you. Oh, damn. That's like a threat. That is a threat. It's not it's not somewhat a threat. It is a threat. Let me just move this again so I don't have to be all the way in the corner of my room. Again, walls are like... There's a wall. Wall. Right there. just making sure I'm not gonna die here. I do like this distance though. And it makes everything look pretty. This is great background. And then we have fireworks that go off whenever. But never been much of a role player. D&D sounds cool, but probably never gonna play it. Yeah, I really wasn't into the concept of role play like ever at all before, like, you know, the LPD stuff, because I was, you know, it's kind of cringe, right? It's like, oh, you're playing as someone you're not, and it's like, I don't know. But it is pretty damn fun when you got people to bounce off of. And of course, you know, with the LPD stuff in particular, you get public lobbies, so it's actually a bit more difficult than, you know, private community, in some ways, I guess. Again, you know, Aether Chronicles, you know, you don't always have a partner, you got some downtime. LPD, however, you know, you're bouncing off each other. You got a fellow officer right next to you. You're just like walking around, you know, you could roleplay with each other. You don't even have to freaking rely on anyone else. But it's always fun when someone does, because that's the entertainment value. That's why I always love doing that stuff, because it's a public lobby. You just make things interesting if it's needed. If it's not needed, you just do it with yourself. Be like, yo, someone took a fat one in this toilet. It's like, you could really just make up anything and just be really funny. But that's why I always record that stuff. I have, how many terabytes? Well, not more than one, but like I have more than between 1 and 2 terabytes of just recording VR chat. Most of it's just, LPD roleplay or stuff similar to that. Because it's just fun. It's just, like, what I mostly do. You don't think you could RP ever? Yeah. You could totally, but you gotta know people. Yeah. And you gotta know you gotta figure out a community to be in, too. Because you can't just, like, do it by yourself. LPD is pretty, if I had to make a recommendation, though it is pretty niche, again, you are, like, role-playing as a cop, which is kind of iffy in its own ways, but it is fun. If you're, everyone's lighthearted and everything, but you are, stuck to being one person. There are the citywide events that make you, able to be a civilian, which is actually really fun, because you could be anyone at that point, for the most part. Because as I was saying in the last VR chat stream, I was the Black Cat, owner and proprietor of the Black Cat for that citywide, and that ruined my voice. That's why I was dying at the end. I was dying the night of and the day after. My voice was actually, like, really bad. I was just doing that for 3 hours straight, but it was fun as hell. Corn Dog's an RP master, ooh. I don't dare question what, but I don't know. There's different types of RP. It's hard to get into it. It actually really is hard to get into it, because you have to actually, like, be willing to, which is hard in and of itself. The only reason why I got into it was because I saw, I think it was the LPD video. I don't know if you've seen, like, the LPD stories video, but it's just a highly edited YouTube video where they just, like, make it like a freaking actual, like, series episode sort of thing. Which is really fun. You should totally watch it. It's, 2019 stuff, though, but god damn, it's actually really fun. I think that's what got me to join it, because I was like, yo, that's kind of dope. I know it's not actually like that, because it's, overemphasized, because it's a YouTube scripted thing, but it's actually fun. It's kind of wild, though. But, you've thought of everything that you could say, because you said Crazy Frog's just a normal frog. That's debatable. I'm sorry, bro. You've only seen my police stuff. Yeah, because I only do... The only roleplays I have done are the stuff on the YouTube, which is mostly police stuff, but I did do these... It is the citywide stuff, which I was a news reporter and a vlogger. Those were freaking fun as hell. But, I tried Aether Chronicles, that's a VOD, but it just, I don't know. There's so much downtime that's hard. It's real difficult with that one. And it's also, there's a learning curve for that too, because Aether Chronicles is kind of set medieval-ish. And that is a completely different beast, because you need to know medieval lingo and, well, you don't need to, but it's really useful if you know medieval lingo and settings and all that stuff. When it comes to, like, the LPD, you're just an officer. You could freaking pull stuff out of your... You don't need to know any laws. You can make up stuff like, yo, are you head patting illegally, or freaking... Have you stood in that spot for more than 10 seconds? Are you staring at that mirror for more than 2 minutes at a time? That is loitering. I'm gonna have to take you to the station. Like, you could really just make up anything and everyone will accept it because, it's fun. But, yeah, you have little no idea what I've been talking about for the past 10 minutes and you're just nodding your head. I mean, yeah, because there's also another thing with me. I have, like, 3 different communities. I have a YouTube, communities. They're all completely very small, but I still consider them as such. A Twitch community, a YouTube community, and a Discord bot community. Those are all, like, 3 separate things, and they kind of intermingle, so it kind of makes things confusing, right? Like, I talk about everyone votes. That's a Discord thing. But obviously, most of the YouTube and Twitch people don't know what the hell that is. I talk about the roleplay stuff, which is more of a YouTube thing. and Twitch people don't know what the hell that is. And then on YouTube, if I were to talk about, you know, YouTube's very filtered, so there hasn't really been much that, you know, they're exposed to. I wouldn't dare expose my audience to anything out of the blue. I might actually, though. I don't know. Have a good night, bruh. I appreciate you for stopping by. Classes tomorrow. I hope they go well. I just took a midterm earlier, too. I could talk about that midterm as well. I'm glad I keep thinking of things. I love these streams. I could just talk about whatever. It's just so good. But you used to play the courtroom one. Yeah, that one's pretty popular. Defend the actions of a clown mob. Yeah. So LPD also does that stuff. They actually reintroduced that stuff, but it also kind of started with that too. Like the LPD, I think it's called the Improv Court. Actually, I could literally show it right now. We don't have to stay in this world. Although it looks really nice for the thumbnail, and I'm sure a lot of people are joining because of it. We're here for a good time, not a long one, all right? So let's go back to first person real quick. Here's first person. Here's how high up I am. I have to like stand on a gigantic ladder to actually do anything. But if we were to go to like search and look up the court world, the improv court is like the biggest one, drama court. This is the big one that everyone's seen. It's super old. I'm pretty sure it's only... No, they made it quest compatible. But this is like the really old world that everyone knows. This is like 2018, maybe even 2017 VR chat stuff. No more lo-fi background, I know. We still have the lo-fi background music. Speaking of which, I forgot to add that tag. I remember I thought after the last stream, I was like, oh wait, I'm playing lo-fi. I might as well add that, but I never did. Here's the courtroom. Wait, is this the courtroom? This is a different one, isn't it? This ain't the same one. Hold on. No, this ain't the same one. What a load of crap. What a bunch of false advertising. Hold on. Unless they updated it. Oh no, they didn't update it, did they? Oh no, it's just courtroom. This is the one. This is the one I'm talking about. For some reason I thought it was drama court. I don't know why. I thought it was called that. Very strange. But this is the world that people are typically talking about when they think of the VR chat court. Because this is a freaking iconic world. Freaking everyone uses this world. Here, let me go back in the stream camera. Well, the camera phases in and I telepathically talk. Like, well, I'll just hold the camera, might as well. But like, gosh, this world, so much stuff. I mean, I walk in front of the camera, but there's so much stuff in this freaking world. It actually doesn't work if I walk because it's smoothed. Let me do a little bit of this. There we go. But like, this world, man, it has got some history. This is an old freaking thing. It's got the whole desk thing here. Press the objection button. It's got this little evidence pad that you could stick stuff on. Like, this stuff is old, man. But good times, good times. Let me turn back on that smoothing, because smoothing is very nice. Much nicer. Instead of, you know, a lot of people don't do the stabilization or smoothing. It's really hard to, I mean, it's not really hard, but it's harder to watch them because, again, you know, it's a gigantic screen. People don't realize it, but this screen is gigantic. I'm taking up a large portion of the screen. I should back up personally, but like a 1080p screen's freaking big, right? 16 by 9, like, whew. I'm up in your face if I'm like this. But yeah, this world's always been crazy. This is actually the world in the video I was talking about, the LPD Stories video. Because, you know, they had like a little court case bit here. It was all fun. If we actually go in the back, I'm actually kind of walking sideways so I don't, again, clip like this. like that. Yeah, like hold it off to the side kind of. But like the evidence room, it's just got a bunch of crap in it. Got the body pillow. This actually I remember I had a video on, it was in the courtroom. One of my YouTube videos was actually in this courtroom, and we had good old Gerald the cheerleader here. Oh, whoa. Careful, jump scare. Good old abs. Gerald. He's really tall. I can't show all of them, but look at him. Imagine I do the rest of the stream like this. Like, there you go. Good old abs. Just, I love freaking thumbnails, man. I get like, whoa! Hold on. Oh no! Oh, Gerald, please! It's terrifying. But you know how it is. It's even got back to it too. It's pretty concerning. But this stuff's always fun. The roleplay stuff. Well, it's not always fun, but you need to know people to get into it. And of course, public lobbies are kind of sketchy with that stuff. Like, you gotta get lucky, unless you like join a community, and then even then you gotta like somehow get into the community, even though everyone's already in it. So all that stuff. But I thought it was pretty fun to world hop a little bit. I do always like world hopping, anyways. Let's go back to the nice world. Unless there's another world that I need to go to, but I don't think there is. I think we should be good to just, you know, freeze. I disappear from existence, and we go back. I haven't touched your VR in 8 months. Oh my god. No, that is so sad. I try to touch my VR at least like once, twice a month, at least. Cause this shit's expensive, dog. Let's do the typical RPG cam real quick. Good ol'. God damn, it's real far. That is really far. You know, good old RPG cam. So, follow me up the stairs. We're playing Sims. I don't know why I like this view so much. This is kind of like the roleplay view, you know? I'm a character and you're just watching, which is technically literally what you're always doing. It's just more obvious. But we go into this door and boom, we appear out of nowhere and you have to zip up to here. But, you know, if I could... There we go. Hi. Reset play space. And then... There's a lot of setup. I don't like having to, like, reset up the camera, but it must be done if I want things to look good. Especially if I'm in front of here, you know? Gotta have, like, the perfect angle. Gotta have whatever the hell that thing is in the background. All these towers and crap. And then, ooh, boom, boom, boom. Well, I could be a little closer than that. Come on, look at that. Boom. Gotta love that rule of thirds. But yeah, the very, very skinny tower that has like got no reason to exist. It has no support beams and it's just kind of there. I mean, I guess we could technically fly over to it. I don't know actually how big it is. I think they're actually a lot smaller than they look to be. But they might actually be pretty big. I don't actually know. I do have a VRC lens avatar that we could always play with too. It has the drone feature, which makes it so you can actually zoom and go to the actual place. I might actually pull that out. Might as well. I haven't done that yet. So I switch into the Black Cat, owner and proprietor of the Black Cat. This is the only avatar I have the VRC lens on, because this was my most updated avatar. But if I switch to... Oh, hold on. If I switch to this, it should... Yeah, there we go. You can see it's now the VRC lens. This is actually on the avatar. So I could technically, if we really wanted to see that skinny tower up close, I would drop this camera as a drone. Unfortunately, you can't really see that, but... And then I can hand rotate it, and then I will pilot you all the way over there. It's a long journey, but We're gonna get there eventually. So for perspective, that's where I think we started. Yeah, we started back there. We're going to Skinny Tower. And the camera's already just a few pixels on my screen, but then again, HTC Vive, lowest resolution headset. Yeah, this thing is really goddamn far away, isn't it? I'm still moving. It's not really getting closer. I mean, it is, but not really that quick. What is that at the base of it? I don't actually know. It's like a weird, like a root. It's got a root there. It's like a tree. I mean, I could also perform a zoom in operation as well. Get this real, like, professional camera right here. What is going on down here? Like helicopter cam. I don't actually know what that is. It is always fun to use these, the VRC lens avatar, though. This is what I use for the professional filming, or quote-unquote professional, you know. The filming that I do in VR chat, because it's always pretty fun. It's a crystal? Really? They kind of look like plants to me for some reason. But yeah, I think this actually is full scale. I think this actually just is really far away and full scale. Wow. I mean, here's the window. Nothing inside of it, of course, but we're over there. Oh my god. God damn. Yeah, this is all to scale. Let's go to the crystals real quick before I switch back. Going down, down, down. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I wasn't able to see that before. Good old crystals, and we got good old material stretch in there. But now you know. And this is also in the cloud, so you can't actually see anything else. But it's a cool view. I always like doing the VRC lens camera because it's always awesome. That's how I look, by the way. With proper lighting, at least. I actually didn't position the camera like this. It was just automatically like that. Pretty useful. But the black cat voice, very, very hard to do. So I don't like. I try to abstain for now. That's better. We get that thumbnail shot. There we go. Ooh. I'm no longer actually looking in the direction I should be, but whatever. Like, in my actual place. Hopefully tracking doesn't give up on me, but I was a bit blind, yeah. Well, to be fair, again, HTC Vive resolution is a bunch of crap. I had, like, everything's blurry. It's like I'm emulating bad vision here. I do hope that, like, next generation VR comes out soon for PC, though. Like, I know that Meta's doing all their announcements or whatever, but, like, it's not like PC VR. I want another Index out, because I don't want to buy the Index, because one, it's $1,000, and two, it's old as hell. It released like 3 years ago at this point, right? So I'm just waiting on it. Like, once something comes out, then I'll consider it. But right now, it's like, I'm just gonna stick with the HTC Vive. I know it's crappy, it's poopy, but it works, it does its job well. And, you know, I have the base stations for it anyways. Like, we need a base station headset is what I'm talking about. You know, all the Quest headsets, they have their inside-out tracking. Doesn't really work if you can, you know, you can't stretch backwards. No, you can't see behind yourself. You'll get tracking issues. No full body without jankiness, all that weird stuff. But you don't want the next gen because you just want more VR games. I know. There really needs to be more VR games. There's freaking nothing out there. There's Half-Life Alyx, and that's the only good one. That's the singular good VR game. All the others are mini games. Beat Saber is a mini game, and it's priced like at $30 somehow. I remember I got VR. I was like, yo, I kind of want Beat Saber. And I looked at the price point. It's like 30. I don't think I know it's more than like $25, I believe. And I was like, yo, this is a mini game. Like, I don't. Why is it that much? It's kind of wacky. You could totally add to this conversation. I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, you don't have VR, but again, VR is like very, very expensive still. Also, I'm looking at the clouds here. Sorry, I'm just noticing the clouds are like, they have a very noticeable seam that I only just noticed. See that? Look at that. I only just noticed that in the corner of my eye, sorry. I just had to mention it. Let me get that camera positioning back. I don't know. I don't know why I had to mention it, I just had to. But the Walking Dead VR game, I haven't really seen much about it, but it's like, it's I think there is a lot of zombie VR games, but it's like weird because they're not like great. They definitely aren't. Let me actually turn this. Let me just set it here, okay? Camera's going here. I'm going here. And I rotate. Boom. Okay, sorry. I have to figure it out because, again, I want all this room. I could walk forward again now without having to worry about a wall, which is nicely somewhere. God, I don't even know where the walls are anymore. Right there. Door. But yeah, the cloud seam. These are pretty damn good looking clouds, though. I like them. This is such a good world. I mean, I would make this my favorite world, but performance-wise, I'm pretty sure it's pretty crap as well. Let's see. Actually, well, yeah, so in the boat world, I remember last time we did check, it was like 40% GPU. This world, at least up here, is 75% GPU. So, maybe a hot. Maybe no. Maybe you want to keep it optimized. You don't want to freaking go wild, go wacky with it. But I do wish there were pens in here. That'd be nice. If we ever do need to, if I need to do a presentation on sociology, which is apparently a challenge that I need to do now, because I'm kind of interested in how I might be able to do that. We do always have my homeworld, because it's a nice little homeworld. And it's small enough that it doesn't make me feel too small, right? I have a very small avatar. I have a very small world to be in. It kind of evens out, except, you know, I never get to see the stovetop and everything, because there is technically a kitchen in there. I just never look at it, because I'm too short. You know, stuff like that. But those were those topics. I remember I mentioned my midterm. Midterm kind of sucked. The thing that's great about college, again, so college, you know, you get a lot of online quizzes and stuff because, you know, it's pretty hard to get everyone in person. People are going to hate you if you require an in-person exam at a specific time, if it's not mandatory lecture or whatever. I'm glad that they are online, but one of my computer science classes, which isn't actually really a computer science class, it's marked as such, but it's more of a mathematics class, which is proofs and induction and recurrence algorithms and time analysis. It sucks, but it's pretty conceptual, and it's like English class all over again, almost. Except it's a little more objective, but it's still kind of like English class, where you can really mess it up pretty easily because you need to know the answer ahead of time, and it's kind of subjective because the grader might be different. But dude, that midterm sucked. I forgot to mention, college. Discord has the student hubs, which you connect your .edu account to, and you just are with all the other students in the college. Pretty dope. You just get connected to everyone else. So there's a lot of class discords. The class discord for that class is pretty mad. They're you know, we've been, I mean, I've kind of contributed too, but it's a lot of them pretty disappointed in like the lecturer and everything, because like everyone's confused. They even made a poll on Piazza, which is like the basic forum, for like, do you understand this class at all? Or like, are you completely lost? It literally said, are you completely lost right now in this class on Piazza? And it's a public poll. 90 people voted yes, they are lost. No one voted no. Not a single person. It was kind of sad. And then the instructor saw that. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll do midterm review. And then the midterm review audio didn't record, so you know, big oof. And then, you know, the tutors were gonna record some stuff. At least one of them. I don't know if there was more recordings, but obviously I wasn't able to see it because I just took the midterm. I wasn't able to use it. Their recording also got messed up, so the midterm was awful, and there was only 50 minutes to do it. And everyone said that there was not enough time. There was only 4 problems, but 2 of them were like full-on time analysis induction proofs, which, if you don't know what those are, it's basically, I mean, it's pretty basic as a concept, but it's kind of difficult when you have to actually put in an algorithm. It's a hard class. I don't like that class. Pretty awful. But I just gotta get it out of the way. It is a very hard prerequisite, so I have to do it, unfortunately. So, you know, all that stuff. I am noticing, though, it is a lot less satisfying talking about stuff that I, like, am experiencing. It's more like I don't know, you never want to hear someone complain, right? So I guess talking about negative stuff like midterms, it's kind of like, I don't find it very interesting, even to talk about. Like, you know, I kind of have a feeling that anyone who would watch that would be like, oh, midterms, and everyone's got that, you know. So definitely learning from that. Also definitely learning. Shoulders definitely kind of go into the avatar a bit when I do good old thinking pose there. But a VR chat podcast, exactly. But yeah. Not giving you much to talk about. School, entertainment, much excitement. I didn't even read the chat. I get brainwaves, alright? I kind of feel it. I do wish I could have the overlay up here, but it's just too much work to actually have it. It's just a lot easier, just whoop, do a little whoop. I do have to look down though, because I'm too lazy to do a full like nay to watch my chat. Like, let me read my chat real quick. There we go. But yeah, people have said they would listen to a podcast of me talking about stuff, and here I am talking about stuff, and people are actually kind of listening. It's kind of wild. I find it enjoyable, but I need to figure out more topics. Sociology, I want to save that one. That one's also kind of, you know, technical. It's, you know, not as fun as the other topics, like war crimes in RimWorld, or you know, politics. No, let's talk about politics, guys. That'd be a perfect plan, right? No, I mean, we could talk, or I'll talk generally about how I stay away from politics as much as possible. I'm sure a lot of people do too. That stuff just sucks. I'm in a household that kind of got ruined by politics. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about it, but I mean, it's not like my mom's gonna watch the stream, but you know, politics kind of ruin relationships a little bit. It's iffy. I hate that stuff because it's like, it's such a weird thing to get mad about. Like, you can have opinions, just like, why do you have to make sure everyone else has your opinion? Like, come on now, calm down. It's fine. It's all right. You could vote. I just don't tell me about it. All right. But yeah, VR chatting guests like Bill Gates. That'd be awesome though. Podcast is bussin'. I know, right? Gotta get special guests on. Then I make it a. Actually, I did see there are usually a podcast going on in the VR chat category. Surprisingly, well, surprisingly, pretty often. I think both times I've checked, there's always like a little talk show thing where people are talking to each other. That's a lot of what the VR chat category is, anyways. It's VR. It's hold on. Where's my? This is the title. VR. Hear me out. VR and chatting. Chatting. VR and chatting. It's probably not that big on the text, and you might be full screen, but if you were able to see that, and the title's right down there. I gotta figure out where my bounds are. I know the title's here. I know the chat's over there. I gotta get familiarized now that I actually am on camera-ish. But it's pretty fun to do that. It is also pretty fun to be able to minimize the stream and not, miss anything. Because that's also kind of... It's a lot easier to consume a live stream when you can actually just, listen to it in the background without having to actually be completely engaged with it. Like, I could talk about whatever the hell. I might just be white noise. Hell yeah, if I am. That's actually pretty dope. But my voice is calming enough. And the lo-fi that's very quietly in the background, which I actually cannot hear myself. That's how quiet it is. Stuff like that. I always do hope that people find streams that I do interesting to some degree. But I know there was more topics I was thinking about. Like, I think about these, I do these conversations a lot, or at least after the stream I was doing them a lot because I was thinking about, I could have talked about this and I should bring it up next time and I should do this. Like even in the shower, like on the bus ride, on like any downtime, like it's actually thinking about it a lot. But of course, now that I'm here, I completely forget about all of it. So I don't actually know what. I was thinking about some stuff. I do write down a lot of stuff as well. I usually just put in the updates channel in the Discord. Again, separate community, kind of. I mean, I always say separate. You could always be intertwined between the two, but generally, Discord's kind of separate from Twitch, which is separate from YouTube. Which is kind of strange. It would be nicer to be able to bridge that a little bit. A little bit. With the little eyes. Actually, I can actually touch my fingers together. I just noticed that. This is me actually touching my fingers together. You can see there's quite a gap. Even if I touch my controllers together, they don't even make it all the way. That's good to know. You love my RimWorld streams. Ooh. Oh, that actually I said I write it down. I have a list of things, actually. I call it the stuff that happened list. And I actually kind of recommend a lot of people maybe do that, because I at least I find it useful, maybe. I mean, I could look at it and then I can remember things. So anything that interesting that happens, I write it down, just like a general tagline. So then when I read it again, I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. And I've kind of done that since I started in freshman year, maybe sophomore year. And then I kind of wrote, retroactively what happened before. Of course, that's kind of scattered, but pretty dense sophomore, junior, senior year. So I actually have a lot of school stuff to talk about because, of course, about 18 years of my life have just been school. And it still is, kind of, except I can actually do stuff like work and drive a car, cool stuff. But I do actually have that. I do have a stuff that happened list. So if you're ever desperate, I could always pull out the obscure stories about, my crazy physics teacher, which was actually he's a good one, or my very kind of, I mean, I don't know how to describe the math teacher, but you know, he was something. And then the something English teacher. There's a lot of teachers that are interesting. they're pretty cool. So if you ever want me to pull down one of those topics, I definitely can. Especially with, like, you know, physics teacher lockdown drill. But we've heard enough about school today. I know, because I have just so much school on my mind. Full-time student, by the way. Because, I don't know. I would assume that it'd be easy. It was an easy time talking about last time, but I'm starting to get a little low on topics now. Maybe now that I'm thinking about it too much. now I'm second guessing myself. I'm making sure talking about stuff that's something. I did join Casting Call. I did check that out. I signed up. I did like a bunch of vague stuff. There's the fireworks again. Those were bound to happen. I did join that, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. You just post a project there. It might be useful to use for the YouTube stuff that I do, because the YouTube stuff might require a voice actor at some point, and maybe people would be interested in that stuff. But it does seem, you know, it's free, and it's like people want to just participate, so it's pretty cool. You've been waiting to bring that up, but you kept talking about... No, again, the policy is bring up whatever the hell that you want. I will always, you know, I could either switch to it, or I will, you know, I'll read it, you know, and then maybe talk around it or make a transition to it. But yeah, I looked at Casting Call. I also looked at the paid, you know, filter. It's pretty small. I did actually think that it was mostly paid, but no, it definitely is just a bunch of volunteer stuff, which is cool. But then I also looked at it. It's like, yeah, it's a lot of server costs. Like, it's always not that good of a sign when you like just start something and then you already hit a paywall. Like, I don't remember what it was, but I know there was something that I was trying to put in, and then it was like, well, no, you can't do that. I think it was the like the showcase thing where you could show like one video or something, and then it was like, oh, that's it, can't do any more. It's like a very mundane limit, but you know, gotta make money somehow. You know, that's how marketing works, I guess. But you zoned out when you started mentioning school. You could not tell me a single thing that I said. Damn. I mean, yeah, school is school. Midterms are midterms. But that is just what happened today. But school is the most boring topic. Yeah, because everyone deals with it. Well, I guess it's the most relatable, but that's kind of a detriment to it, because you know, everyone's already been through it, technically. I know there's a lot of homeschooling people, but, you know, most people have gone through a ton of quizzes. They don't even want to hear about school, because Twitch is an escape for them. You know, you watch a video or a stream because you don't want to think about school. That's actually the kind of the point, right? So, yeah, that is a very fair point. I don't know, it's just what happened today. Because again, kind of like all I do. I always have to travel and all that stuff. But real life stuff, that's boring. These fireworks are always... The fireworks go crazy in this world. I don't know why they only happen at a specific time. But yeah, you did not come to watch the little yellow furry on the internet get brought back to real life. No, we're in Fantasyland right now, all right? We're literally in Fantasyland. We don't want to think about that stuff. What we could think about, however, is I don't actually know. I mean, Casting Call, but that's also kind of, I mean, it's a real topic. It's like a hobby. You said it was a hobby, and it is pretty cool. I looked into it, and it's like, you could make submissions. You know, the project creator can look through them, and you know, it's all just for fun. So you could just pick whoever, and that's pretty dope. More so, not like me being interested in submitting stuff, but more like how useful it might be if I wanted to make a project at some point. But yeah, it's cool to know that sort of website. Who made the word motherfucker? True. Who did make that word? I mean, I'm sure it just combined in itself, and it was just an insult back in the day. It probably wasn't even that. I mean, that's like the most basic insult, isn't it? Out of all the insults, like that one's pretty universal, right? You hear it a lot in every language. It's pretty crazy, that one in specific. But yeah, more than a hobby, but currently a hobby. Yeah, I mean, you gotta work towards it. Again, me coding is a hobby, but, you know, I want to make it more than a hobby. It's also what I go to school for, but we don't talk about that. But, yeah, hobbies. I remember we always, during the coding streams, I always talk to Clowning, kind of like this, because, you know, coding streams are coding streams. They're kind of boring, so whenever there is conversation, it's always great to, you know, just go towards them. We'd always talk about hobbies and how you can, like, min-max them. Like, having a productive hobby is really good. Like, you can have a hobby. Like, you have just a normal hobby. But then it's like, it's fun, but it's like, what are you doing it for? Like, gaming is kind of like one of those in a sense. Like, at least for workaholics. This is from a workaholic standpoint. Gaming is like, I could do it, but then like, something like coding, you can actually create something. Arts and crafts, that's kind of similar. Voice acting, similar. Anything project related is actually really cool. Like, even just like, you know, just like looking into something like, oh, I kind of want to get into game development. How the hell do you do Unity? And just doing something basic on there, that's also a hobby. If you make it a hobby, it actually is a really good hobby to have. But Corndog, you want to be chemistry, huh? No, you want to do chemistry, so it's fun making stuff that could kill you. Wow. I mean, I'm sure it's pretty difficult to get those chemicals, but, you know, you might be able to acquire them by means. I think you actually have to have, like, a license for a lot of them, but I'm pretty sure you can, like, buy them. If you want to make something spooky, but 300 auditions and been cast about 20 times and 5 have been completed. Oh, yeah, because it's projects, so some of them don't even come to fruition. That always kind of sucks when you start something and you expect something to happen because of it, but all that effort kind of went to waste a bit. That always sucks. It's still a learning experience, though, especially with coding. You know, you make a ton of side projects and you're like, I could do this better. Or you just get bored of it and you move on, but it's a place to gain experience. I literally just said that, yeah. But yeah, a piece of online media which has your voice in it. Yeah, and then you can show it to people and be like, yep, that's kind of my resume, in a sense. That's why I wanted to get into commissions for coding, because, like, I mean, I made like 2 things. My website, which is very, very, very basic, and the Discord bot, but that's only 2 things, right? It'd be cool if, like, you know, you get commission, like voice acting, you have work that you actually did for someone else, because then, you know, the workplaces see that and they're like, yo, hey, you've done work for someone else. You're not just doing your own thing, and you're not gonna be like a freaking rogue agent who's doing whatever. Like, it's always good to have that sort of experience, because you could, again, put it on a resume, and that's always awesome. I need to get that experience. I really need to. I need to get into something like that for at least maybe coding. I could never see myself doing that for like video editing or anything like super duper creative. Coding is creative kind of, but you know, it's more, I'm not a creative person, honestly. Hello Pachiko, and hello Doubly Dangerous. Adorable. Oh, how dare you both insult and compliment me. I'm not a VTuber, by the way. I swear to God. Furry, on the other hand, I'm still kind of in denial, but you know how it is. I haven't seen you for a while. Appreciate you stopping by. Axel, you don't think you're creative either? Yeah, like creativity's a hard one because you need to, like, because the thing that sucks, at least it's hard to get a balance between creativity and actually being able to do the thing. Like, you could be super creative, but then you might not even be able to do the thing, and it's like, crap. Or you could do the thing, but you're not creative, so you're not even doing anything with it. I'm kind of stuck in that. Like, even the Everyone Vote spot, that was 11 Pixel's idea. That was not my idea. I literally explicitly asked him, like, hey, that was actually a cool idea that you posted in the staff chat. Could I actually try and make that into fruition? He's like, yeah, for sure. And I really appreciate that because it's actually a really cool bot and I really like it, but it technically was not my idea. Because I'm not a creative person. But my eyes stare into your soul? Yeah, exactly. That is the point. I get to really get up to the camera. I get to clip into the camera too. You get to see my tongue. It's kind of weird, but I get to really stare at you in the eyes. The singular eye. Oh god, there goes the tracking because I have a mirror right there. That's why I don't walk that far close to the camera. But yeah, my emotes are from Yorkie. Yes, they are indeed. I'm famous now? No, I'm not. I'm definitely not. But what even makes you creative, and how much creativity do you need to be creative? What counts as creativity? So, like, creativity in a general sense is, like, just having ideas, right? And, I mean, that's kind of the general sense. Having ideas that are kind of, in a sense, novel or unique in a way. But to be a creative person, I think you just have to be able to, like, want an idea and then be able to think of one, I guess. At least not with like too much effort. Like, you might want an idea and I might want an idea, but it's gonna take me like a hot week or month if I specifically think about, like, gosh, what would be the next big, like, I don't know, Discord bot or like YouTube video or freaking VR chat stream, I don't know. Like something like that. I'd take a hot minute. A creative person would probably take, you know, they think about it, they might get inspiration and be like, oh, maybe a day. That's kind of what I would define as creative, at least. But the close I can. I've been alright, Pachiko. You stopped by to say hi to that place the other day and check up on everyone. Yeah, that place is doing things. It's going. Yeah. But yeah, it's good to see you again. Example, if you're given a general prompt for a voice, you could come up with a dozen voices. Does that count as being creative? I guess it depends how common that is. I think creativities might be kind of relative as well. Like, if someone else was given that prompt as well, if I was given that prompt, how many voices could I think of, right? Like, I don't know. I think creativity is definitely relative in the sense, but it's also a concept that isn't measurable in any degree. The same with like competency or fluency. That's not really measurable easily for stuff like that, but it's doing things exactly. But yeah, creativity isn't a thing you try to do, it just happens. Yeah, that's the hard part about it. It just, like, I don't know if you could train it. Can you practice creativity? You could maybe practice, like, methods to, like, encourage creativity. Like, maybe you listening to music. I think we talked about this eventually, or I don't know if it was. No, it wasn't on stream. I was actually talking to the media team in the LPD because I do YouTube LPD stuff. I was talking to the one guy and he was like, "Oh yeah, so, gosh, I completely lost my train of thought." Yeah, it was creativity is like, gosh, I did completely lose my train of thought. How did I do that? Damn. Hold on. Let me reread again. But yeah, there's a much better conversation prompt because it's conceptual. Conceptual conversation prompts are really good because everyone can contribute, and there's no like right answer. Other than like factual stuff is factual. You're just listening. Can't really contribute. I guess that's why stories aren't really that good to really like talk about. I guess. I mean, you could talk about short stories, but if you're like going long story mode, it's kind of hard. I guess you could get away with it for streams and stuff, but you really have to be like the chat really has to be knowing that like, oh, it's not really that much that you engage with. You kind of just the chat's the reactor now. It's like it's not really that great. But did I check out Mass Effect? I did not. I still know of it. I never like looked it up again, but I do know of it. I do know of Mass Effect Andromeda too. That's the only one I know most about, but I know that one's got a stigma. But hello, Coolix. I look cute, damn. I don't know, take that as a compliment or an insult. A lot of people, I don't know, but I appreciate you for stopping by. You want to throw me? It's a pretty long fall. I could probably be puntable if I was on the floor though. That's what happens when you have a small avatar. But yeah, I never checked out Mass Effect. And that's the one that you know nothing about because you've been avoiding it. Yeah, because it's like the worst in the series or whatever. I don't know if it is. I'm pretty sure it is, but a lot of series have that sort of thing. Like, oh yeah, 1 and 2 were good, but don't even touch 3. Like stuff like that. But again, with creativity, that as a concept is like, I don't know. It is really hard to come by. You can't. It's practicable in a way that you find creativity through other means like music. Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about music. Damn it, I just remembered. Yeah, I was talking to the one guy about music and how he finds creativity through music. And it was because, I'm horrible at multitasking. So I was like, well, I can't listen to music. If I'm talking on a voice chat, I have to be only doing that. And he was like, oh yeah, I'm listening to music, talking to you, and working on the script at the same time. And I'm like, holy crap, Jesus Christ. Like, calm down. But, they find creativity through music. And that just, gives them ideas. I think that's something you could practice, trying to find mediums where you could find more creativity. Or you could just be really good at creativity off the bat because you just have a really hyperactive mind that's like, oh yeah, this thing would happen, and then this and this and this, and I could do this. It's like, depends on the person. But yeah, low-key want to draw me. I thought you didn't do furry art, huh? What a lie. No, I mean, I would appreciate it. No, it's fine. I do like the character. I did just get this avatar. It's a lot more chibi than it used to be, but no, it is a cute character. I do agree. I don't know if I myself am cute. That is very, very debatable. But the character itself, I do agree, is pretty cute. I like it. But you drew the otter who's more chibi. Oh, you did? I didn't even see that. Damn, how'd that slide by me? Or wait, did you? Wait, yeah. Wait. God, I'm starting to forget things now. No, it was his profile picture. Yeah, I'm starting to remember things. So, again, Pachika's from the Discord side of things. Again, like the 3 communities I have, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord. Pachiko's Discord, and we're talking about that place, which is a Discord server that I have like moderated for like 3 years, 3.5 years now. Holy shit, 3.5? No, 2.5. 2.5. Okay, just 2.5. Not that long. That'd be a little too much if I was doing that. But yeah, you just think it's a cool idea. That's how it starts too, by the way. You look at the art, it's like, oh, yo, that's just really cute art. That's awesome. That's how I started. You know, it's a rabbit hole. It's spooky, but you quit to pursue your VTubing career. Exactly. I hope that's been going well. I haven't been able to see any streams, because again, I don't actually watch like Twitch really. I don't really watch streams, and even if I do, I watch the VODs of streams anyways. So I don't really get to interact with like streamers all that much. So I'm actually kind of in the dark here. I'm actually like the worst streamer to ask about Twitch, because I don't know Twitch. I am completely mind blank, you know? But yeah, exactly. But you sorted from least views and in English. I've been telling, that's what I've been saying. A lot of people, shout outs to the people that sort by lowest and just, you know, check out the, you know, the small streamers, because those people are dope. Everyone can appreciate them because, you know, they're not, you know, doing all the big streamer stuff because, you know, it's just a big old number. For a small streamer, one extra viewer is like a really big deal because, you know, it's one extra person talking or lurking or whatever. It might get them closer to affiliate because that requires 3 average viewers. That was actually pretty hard for me to get. But yeah, it's always cool when people do that. Sorry, I just always have to appreciate the people that do that, because there's always like a couple people that join the stream. Gotta put out the appreciation, right? Gotta give credit where credit's due. But 1 viewer is almost always better than 0. Almost. When is it not? I mean, you're streaming for the purpose of, well, I mean, I guess almost always, because if they're a troll, then, you know, it is what it is. But even then, you know, you get someone to bash on. But I mean, streaming is specifically because you're gearing towards an audience, so it just makes it a lot easier to stream, which is actually kind of you know, it's a little bit of a paradox. To stream good, you kind of need an audience, but to get an audience, you need to stream good. It's like, oh, you just gotta make stuff up. You know, I always, if you watch my VODs, I'm always talking, always doing that stuff. Even if no one's in the chat, I'm just, you know, saying my thoughts and everything. But for these streams in particular, where I'm just talking to a camera, it's pretty kind of important that I am having a conversation. Because, you know, if there was no one in the chat right now, not hypothetically, like if everyone was not in the chat and I was just here, I'd kind of, I don't know what I'd be doing. I'd just be like talking about stuff that happened to me, which is again stories, and stories aren't that great because it's not a conversation starter. It's more like a chat reacts rather than, you know, bounce off each other. Can't really join in really easily. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff, intricacies to it. But you need at least 10 followers per hour, and then you start raging. Exactly. You need to hit that quota. Even big streamers don't. I mean, it's pretty hard to get 10 followers an hour. Goddamn. You were a small streamer, so you know what it's like. Oh, yeah. The relatability. Go hydrate. Go drink. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah. Do I sound like I'm getting raspy? Is that why? Or are you just reminding me for the heck of it? I need to know, but I will hydrate, because I think... Okay, my water bottle is right here. And I'm not going to choke on my water like last time, because I'm not being peer pressured to drink faster. And my microphone's actually slightly farther away, because I realized last time, if you listen to the beginning of the previous stream, I was freaking... it was kind of clipping the microphone because I was way too close. But now, I got good old water here. Let me take a sip. So you know why I'm silent. I always try to be talking, because now you're just going to be looking at me drinking water, and I'm going to try not to choke on it. I really, it's really difficult because it's on camera. There's a lot of peer pressure involved. If I do mess it up, then, you know, that sucks. Also, the water might be doing weird stuff to my left hand. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Hydrated. I didn't die. Perfect. Now I just got screwed back on. Hold on. I got screwed back on, and I gotta figure out where the water bottle goes. Okay, I'm good. Okay, cool. Chug. If I chugged, I would just die. I would just die. That's something for Badlands to do. But you mentioned something and made you think, hey, this guy needs to hydrate. Yeah. No, fair enough. I will not remember to hydrate, and then my voice will get horrible, and then I will have a bad time after the stream. I won't have a bad time on the stream because I'll just push through it, and then I'll stop if I start irking towards dying, which you kind of heard in the last stream. I was actually dying. I did the Black Cat voice again, 3 hours, and that really ruined my voice the rest of the day. But, yeah. Don't want to refill your water cup because you're in the barracks, and if you get out of bed, you'll wake others up. Oof. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Having family or like anyone around and like not wanting to wake them up, so you just like have to stay in bed. Especially if like, I only know that through like hotel rooms and, you know, actually like living in a house. We don't live in a house anymore. We had to move out to like a condo and then a townhouse, all that stuff. But yeah, that stuff always sucks because you always have to make sure everyone else is okay and they're not gonna get mad at you, because you know how it feels to freaking get woken up by someone. But yeah, the only reason you know what barracks are because of RimWorld. Damn, really? I mean, yeah, because the room highlight does say barracks when you have more than 2 beds in it. But doubly, yeah. RimWorld, pretty decent. I got a lot of RimWorld streams in. But it's one of those games that's like, I can't get past like late mid-game, end-game. I've never beat it. It's just so difficult. Never gotten to it. But you're in the army. It's great. Is it great? I mean, the barracks do sound pretty awful. Just in general, because you have to sleep with a bunch of... I mean, you're not sleeping, like, cuddling with people, but... you are, like, above and beside people. But bold of you to assume you even make it to mid-game. Not even mid-game? No. Come on, mid-game at least. The farthest I've gotten in RimWorld is that I've made the ship, and then I started it up, and then I, like, you know, it was just way too hard, and I died, and, you know, that was it. I was like, wow, I can't actually even beat the game without making a kill box, so not gonna do it. Even though it is technically a story generator, they want you to lose people, they want it to be chaotic, and, like, you know, only one person made it to the ship, or whatever. But that's why I never beat the game. It's exactly why. You get to drive a tank, hell yeah. No war cuddles. War cuddles. I mean, with the new DLC in RimWorld, you might be able to with all those genetics and freaking, yeah. That stuff's wild. You have genetics, genes, freaking mechanoids. You got the children, which is the biggest part. Like, holy crap. What a freaking thing to add to RimWorld, which is like the most interesting game to add it to. But I like the addition because it adds so much drama. And they like kind of... I always thought you couldn't actually... I thought it was like actually illegal or like outlawed to like, you know, quote unquote, have kids die in a game. But I don't think it is. At least, you know, with RimWorld doing it, I don't think it is. I just know ones, you know, they avoid it probably because ESRB kind of, they're probably mad about it. They just like make it adult only or whatever, something like that. But genetics is furries with no mods. Exactly. And then even in the RimWorld Discord, the official development Discord, the announcement said, and it had a little sub note and it said, and yes, furries are canon or whatever. It said something. It said something like furries are canon or furries are real or something in RimWorld. It was wild. That was a fun read. What an update, man. Good update though. $25 though. It is kind of wacky how the base game is $35 and the DLC is $25, so it's like 75, 80% of the base game, which is a little wild, but it's RimWorld. It's kind of worth it. But there's a setting to allow children to appear in raids. Wow. I didn't know they had a specifically set a setting for that, huh? Oh, so is it just me or is the clouds getting quicker? I feel like the clouds are getting quicker, and I'm getting flashbacks from Breath of the Wild where the sky turns red and the clouds go super quick and all the mobs respawn. That's also a game I never beat because I emulated it and I got to like the third whatever it's called, but interesting game. Clouds are, holy crap, they are actually. I swear that we're gonna get like a mob respawn calamity like freaking cutscene in a second here. But you've never played RimWorld? You gotta play RimWorld. It's great. If you like sandbox games, that is. If you don't like sandbox games, then don't. But it's a pretty good game. It's pretty fun. There's a learning curve. You have to like watch a tutorial if you really want to know what to do and not get like super frustrated at the beginning. But yeah, seriously, the sky is going freaking wild right now. It's turning purple. It's going quick. Explosion in the background. This world always never ceases to amaze me, but you beat Breath of the Wild without even knowing the Koroks had a purpose that isn't just being a collectible. Oh, those little guys that you turn in for what? For the heart? Is that the heart thing? I don't even remember. Hearts and mana? I think that is. that's kind of hard mode though. I kind of had to farm those because I don't want to deal with a bunch of freaking, it's real difficult. And now the clouds are going this way. I swear, it's literally Breath of the Wild. I don't know what the clouds are doing, though. More inventory space. Oh, it's inventory space. Oh, the shrines are health and stamina. The inventory spaces. Yeah. I mean, you could do it without Koroks, but, I mean, it's a lot easier if you do, especially for weapons. Because it's all weapon space, and god damn it, those freaking weapons, they just break and shatter. It's awful. A lot of people hate it. I do think it adds to it, but, not the best mechanic. Not the greatest thing ever. Also, that's one thing I could mention. I don't actually have, like, any video game consoles. The last console that I technically owned, is like a family-owned thing, was the Wii. And then I guess the 3DS. I guess the 3DS would be the latest one, but anything past that, which, I mean, 3DS, and then it was like literally the Switch right after, but I guess it hasn't been that long, but it seems like a long time because I've always just been a PC person. I never do consoles because I like, having freedom. It gives a good experience for sure, but it costs money, and it's hard to, jailbreak those sort of things. Because I'm not saying I would do anything like this, but if you ever were to consider, like emulating a game or something, like why pay a monthly fee to Nintendo online services? Even then, like, online services on PC are completely free and they work so much better than Nintendo, but they gotta pay for their services. the Wii was freaking awesome, though. I loved the Wii. That was my favorite console, because that's the only one I really played. But actually, that is like the only one that I really played, except the DS series, like DS, DSi, and 3DS. I think I had all of those, except like the DS with my sisters. And then the Wii was the family thing. But yeah, those are like the main things that I played. Even though I didn't play them much, I was PC person. But yeah. You have a phone and a PC and an Oculus 2, and that's it. I mean, you got all the essentials, right? That's pretty decent. If having anything, I would want a PC instead of like a Switch or anything, right? And an Oculus 2. I'd have a VR headset over a console. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of VR games, and even then, like, they're free and stuff, and, you know, I think over a console, like even like the PS5, I would probably pick a VR headset over that. Like the HTC Vive even, which is technically the same cost as a PS5. Actually, it's more expensive. PS5's like 400 for the digital thing. HTC Vive on release was like 500, I believe, for all the stuff, and I think I bought it at that price. 2019, it might have been a little cheaper, but yeah. Pretty wild. Animal Crossing City Folk. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Those are some good memories there. Because, I mean, I did always have to share it with my sister, because she was also playing that game too. And then you'd have to, like, you know, pick over. And I never really played it all too much, but yeah, I did really get into that stuff. Animal Crossing. Of course, Wii Sports and all that. There wasn't many Wii games that I really know of. Again, I'm not really a console gamer, so I don't really have like specific games that I was like, yo, this is the best game. Just like the very basic stuff. Like, what other Wii games were there? Twilight Princess, I watched my sister do. I mean, at this point, I was very young. I am 19 right now, so take that into account. Yeah, Twilight Princess was too spooky for me. Oh, and Paper Mario, Super Paper Mario or something. I remember there was this very traumatizing scene that scared the shit out of me. So, in like the Paper Mario Wii game, there's like that one lady and she turns into a spider, and oh my good lord, holy crap, that was too much for me. I remember there was like bathroom stalls too. It was freaking terrifying. I don't even know. I'm 19, age review. I mean, if you look hard enough, you could find that. I don't, you know, in Discord, it's probably searchable, but online, I'm actually pretty. If you look me up online, you could probably find barely anything about me, other than like the social medias that I already have, which is YouTube, Twitch, and you know, whatever. But yeah, a lot of there's another thing too. A lot of like my stuff, like personal details, age, you know, technically, state, California, if you really want to know. that gives also a bit of context too. That's, you know, all on Discord. You just have to really know where to look, which is a bit harder, but you know, it's better than just having it out there too. Until a wiki page is made, and then it's just public information, and it's like crap. But I still haven't shared my height. My height is still on strict lockdown to most people. At least I hope. I appreciate the follow, Doubly Dangerous, by the way. Barely 20. You said I'm in Cali so many times. Really? So many times? Okay, maybe, again, I'm always talking, so I just forget about what I said. But I swear I've only said it one time this stream. Maybe twice. And then maybe, I don't even remember if I would have said it last stream. But like, how many times does California even come into play? Like, it's just another place, right? The only time it comes into play is rent costs, but we don't talk about rent costs here. That's a whole different story. We don't worry about that. No. But you know, that's California for you. But your favorite game on the Wii was Mario and Sonic 2012 Olympic Games. That is oddly specific. Yeah, I never played that. I never played any of those like sports games other than the Wii Sports series. Yeah, that is an oddly specific game. Like, I would think that your favorite game would be like a story game, or like, you know, like Twilight Princess is a pretty big one, right? But yeah, I don't know. Is it really that good of like a sports game? Damn. Mario and Sonic. Huh. Special yellow box, and those mini games were so good. You could play the mini games for hours, and you did. Damn. Like, what mini games were we talking about? Like, do you even get anything from them, or are they just like so implicitly fun that you just like always want to play them and master them or something? Like, there's quite a few things where there's like, you know, I took like a psychology class, and you know, we talk about extrinsic and intrinsic motivation and stuff. You know, extrinsic would be like, oh, you get these things for doing these mini games, and the coins get you more stuff or whatever. Like, intrinsic is just like, yo, this is fun, or like, I find fulfillment out of this. But you would kill to play that game again. Your Wii broke. My mom sold my Wii, or our Wii, and all the games with it for like $40. She just randomly did it. I would have told her to not do that, because that was literally a library of like 40 games, Wii games, with all the save files and everything on it. And a Wii with all the save files and everything on it. I think maybe she reset the Wii, but not the games. Yeah, that really sucked. She just did it spontaneously for like $40, and someone just snatched that stuff up. I mean, she did want to clear it out because it was just, you know, no one was using it, of course. It was freaking old. But, that happened to me, at least. The unfortunate Wii games are gone. Also, I need to walk around a little bit, just so, again, stiffness does not occur. I mean, we could do like a little exercise lesson. You know, do a little, oh, there I go. Sorry, there's a collision right here. So like when I walk up here, I get like a little bounce. I disappear from the existence of the earth. It's strange, I don't know. But yeah, you gotta do some like squats, stuff like that. Do a fitness class. People actually do that in VR. I'm pretty sure there are streams where they're just doing fitness. But I don't think they're doing fitness for the purpose of fitness. I'm thinking they have ulterior motives. Personally, I'm just saying. But in the room above you, what? Jesus Christ. Hello, Duncan. Appreciate you stopping by. I hope you're fine, Doubly. Holy shit, that's kind of super serious. You might just be playing with like a gun, but yeah, that's an army. That's pretty wild. Mario and Sonic. Can't believe you remember the name. Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's pretty easy to remember, right? I mean, I guess there's a lot of words that like come in sequential order, but you know, there's no other games that are named like the Mario and Sonic Winter Games Olympic. I already fucked it up. you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Damn. Yeah, some weird misfire. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that is kind of terrifying. That's why, you know, Army, not for me, man. I do, you know, really respect like all the people that do that stuff, though. You know, going out for the military service and stuff. Because that shit's like, you know, you actually have to have guts to do that. Like, real guts, right? Like, even just to be in there and, you know, it's wild. But, yeah, hopefully, yeah, you hope everyone's fine. Some people run upstairs. Yeah, I mean, freaking, a gun goes off. Fucking everyone's gonna go over there. Jesus. No matter what it is, but... Yeah. Stay safe out there, Doubly. If you ever need to step away from the stream, it is also kind of funny to think that you're watching me in an army barracks. That's kind of strange, but you know, I really do appreciate it. We have a very diverse cast of people that stop by. A lot of the people, you know, who check these small streamers because they're just good people like that. But yeah. Duncan, appreciate you for stopping by. I don't think you've been here before. At least this is the first time you're chatting. But we were talking about the Wii right now. The Wii. I mean, again, consoles. I'm just not too into consoles. The 3DS, the DS series, maybe a little bit more. Like, I just borrow my sister's games because, again, little kid, didn't really have money. Except I did save a lot of them. Again, I'm a compulsive saver. So literally any birthday money I would get, you know, I wasn't, you know, lucky enough to get any sort of allowance or anything, but I would just save money from birthdays and Christmas. That's the only times I ever got money. So I'd just save it in my wallet. Eventually I got like a freaking $1,000 in my wallet because I was saving for years and years because I wanted to get a PC and I just have to give my mom cash, like $1,000 in cash, and be like, here, please, I want this computer because my old freaking desktop Pentium freaking you know, shitty computer, I need something new. I'm glad I was able to get off of that one. Actually, I actually still have that PC. I'm pretty sure that's the same exact PC I did buy at that point. Yeah, it was an iBuyPower PC. I still have it right on my desk because I did recently switch PCs again because that one was getting kind of old. But yeah, that's actually kind of wild. I completely forgot about that. You go to the border near Thanksgiving. Ooh. Yeah, I hope that all goes well. Olympic team always had Peach, Vector. Oh, Vector's the big... Yeah, Vector's an obscure one. That's a Sonic character, though, I think, right? That big old guy. And then the other two change, but... The purple cat girl, Bowser, Metal Sonic, and the white one. But you'll be at the front of everything. Hello, Evanel Pro. Damn, everyone's stopping by. Appreciate you for stopping by. Especially if you're one of those people that are just checking out the small streamers at the bottom of the VR chat category. You are saints. I'm still trying to catch up with the chat real quick. Hold on. But you're not saving for a PC for now, though. Yeah, buy a car with 32% interest. I bought my car in cash, luckily, but also I was lucky enough because, you know, that was like the final thing. Like, I turned 18. The final thing that I get is a little bit, you know, a couple thousand to set me off on a car, and then, you know, from like mom and dad, and then good luck. You're working now. So luckily I was able to, you know, buy a car because I was also saving up. I was working beforehand too. So I was saving up quite a bit. But I bought my car because my bargaining deal for the car dealer, because this was a used car, I was actually buying a Hyundai from a Kia dealer, so, you know, it was all refurbished or whatever the hell they call it. My bargaining deal, because, you know, they always try to get, like, I think their initial cost was like $14,000 or something, and I got it down. But my argument was that this is literally all the money that I have. I will be paying every single fucking dollar that I have. I could literally not go higher. And they took it. I'm like, yes. And I wasn't lying, unfortunately, but, you know, I was working, so I was able to make it up eventually. You're not one of those. Damn, how'd you get here then? Where'd you come from? I'm trying to audit everyone who comes in here because I'm like, how the hell are you finding me? But no. I always appreciate anyone that stops by anyways. But seriously, the people that specifically go to like lowest viewers, it's like, yo, you guys, you're just you're too nice. But yeah, we're talking about everything basically. Answering specific questions with yes or no. Did I do that? I don't know what you're saying that in reference to, Axel, but let me just double check the chat. I didn't miss anything, right? Just making sure. It's a very conversation-heavy chat. I have to look at everything, double check. What are we talking about? Yes. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Oh, no, I get you. Yeah. We're talking about everything. Everything except school, because school sucks and we want to escape from that. Or, provide an escape from that. So, we were just talking about consoles. I just went on a side tangent about cars because, getting out in the world. Saving money was another one. Because I was, again, compulsive saver. I barely ever buy stuff. Even like an Amazon Prime membership, I don't, I get a student discount, $6.75 a month or whatever. I still don't even get it. I don't buy it because I don't, firstly, I don't buy many things on Amazon because I'm a compulsive saver, but secondly, it's also another monthly subscription, so fuck that. You feel me? That and car insurance is $167 a month, so I don't... it compounds, I'm already very well aware. But, yeah, so... yeah, the consoles, again, I'm just a PC person. Emulating. VPN was a pretty good purchase. Very... Not gonna say why, but it's very value effective. I'm not gonna go any further from there, but yeah, VPN. If you want a recommendation for a VPN, go to surfshark.com/Lucadia. No, if only, but I do actually use Surfshark because that's literally the cheapest one, and it's yeah, it works. Fuck it. I think it was $60 for a 2-year plan, and it's hey, it's kind of like the cost of a game, except 2 years, and technically get a lot of value. Not gonna say why, but compulsive liar. Damn, you're lying. Damn, just create a paradox, didn't you? But you're a compulsive saver, but the RimWorld DLC, yeah. So there's always exceptions, right? I don't know what I was gonna say there. Compulsive saver with exceptions. I think my exceptions are, I guess, big tech items. I guess in the middle, I don't buy stuff, but big tech items, I kind of go all out on, right? I kind of waited for my headphones to deteriorate. I've had those for 4 or 5 years now, maybe even 6. Those Sony things. I switched headphones. But yeah, I always just do singular big purchases, and then that's my big purchase for the, what do I call half a year? I don't know, half a year. That's my bi-yearly purchase. And then even then, it's not a big thing. I might buy a new mouse, and that's my bi-yearly purchase. But the smaller things, I actually just bought a Rousey plush because fucking it's cute. There's just some things that just kind of pop up. I'm fuck it, I gotta get it. Had to get it. Fangamer.com. I think it's still in stock, by the way. But yeah, the Fisherman with a Paradox Part 2 boats. Damn, I'm not actually too familiar with the Fisherman Paradox. But you didn't get royalty. Didn't seem worth it. Yeah, I'm not actually too into the royalty DLC for RimWorld either. I bought it because that was the first DLC, though. I was yo, DLC, let's go. But now I'm it's kind of a hassle, because then it just adds stuff, but you don't have to interact with it. But then it's it always happens. So it's not I don't know, it's not unique, right? I think the new DLC is pretty unique, but royalty DLC, we're talking about RimWorld, they just released a DLC Friday, but the royalty DLC, it just adds a quest line, literally 2 quest lines. That's, you can accept or you could ignore, and then nothing different happens. And it's always that every single time you start the game. It's like, whatever. Not that fantastic, but $32, damn. $32 for royalty DLC? How much? What? I don't know. Hey, but at least RimWorld's got furries now. Hey, let's go. I was gonna start saying, we could talk about furries as a topic, but that's kind of strange. I could talk about myself and my progression as furry. It started with this character. This is called a Rikuru. I actually got it from VR chat. It was just like a random person had it, and I'm like, yo, that's a good-looking avatar. Actually, not even just a random person. A very specific person has it. I'm really good friends with them, actually. But, well, but they brought me onto this avatar. I'm like, yo, that's pretty cool. And I was already, kind of into art and stuff because it's cute stuff. And then, technically, this is a furry because it's anthropomorphic. And I'm like, fuck. Shit. Damn it. But, $32 for the plushie. You looked it up. Yeah, I spent $32 on that plushie. I got the dark Rousey, though. I gotta put it out there. The dark Rousey is a lot cuter than the bright one. I don't know. I just like the hat and everything. It's kind of sad because I actually played a little bit of Deltarune too. That's one of the few games that I played for the story and didn't get myself spoiled on, really. Kind of. But yeah, it's kind of sad because the rest of the game, they're not really in that dark little hat thing. But I like that character. I like that design a lot better. But yeah, the evil word, furry, exactly. We do have a furry tag. If you look, where might it be? Like down there? It's somewhere down there. I've kind of embraced it now. At the very least, I could argue that it's for, like, furry accepting, but you look at me and it's like, you're a furry. Come on now. It's like, god damn it. Maybe. It's still half in denial, but I'm getting off that arc where I'm like, okay, maybe, I guess. But chapter 1, Deltarune, it's been hard avoiding spoilers. Yeah, it's very difficult. Also, if you ever noticed my coat go up like that, that's because I'm literally just like picking up my leg. Just so you're curious, it's not breaking or anything. I need to move around my leg so I don't die from standing in one spot for too long. But I spoiled it slightly. Oh shit, yeah. Well, I mean, you looked it up. There's two characters, right? There's a bright Rousey and there's a dark Rousey. Like, it's not as much of a spoiler, but that's kind of unavoidable at this point. Because you see art of both of them now. And it's like, wait, why? Like, if you only know the dark one, then it's like, whoa, where'd this character come from? Why they call this Rousey? It's like, it's really impossible. That's one of the things with Deltarune. You're very serious about avoiding spoilers. Yeah. The story spoilers are probably pretty easy to, like, avoid, but general, like, maybe events that happen. I mean, I guess that's technically kind of story, but, like events, funny stuff that people just reference a lot, that's pretty difficult. But, at least I got a Rousey plush coming in, like, fucking 3 weeks because they take ages to ship for some reason. They say it's in stock, but they're lying. No. But yeah, it's one of those games. It's a good game. I always watch Let's Plays and stuff. I never usually play games myself. I find it more productive to watch someone else play the game. I mean, I already covered this before, but last stream, but again, it's more productive watching someone play the game because then you're not wasting the time and you're kind of knowing their stuff, so you kind of get a hint of their culture. You know, you can get their memes if they make references to it later down the line, and you also don't pay for the game, so all that. But I should play Mass Effect. It's such an oddly specific game. I don't know. It's a story game. I can't stream the story games. Story games are hard to stream. And I already covered that last time, but if I talk over the story, then I miss out on it. And if I just react to the story, then I'm silent during while it's talking. And then, even then, like, it's still, you interact with it a bit less than you would normally if you were to just, you know, play the game by yourself. But that's not an option for me because I'm too much of a workaholic. I gotta do something productive. So, you know, you will continue to fight me on this. Yeah, just like how I left that one guy to die on the floor that one time. And you insisted that I take them in RimWorld. But it just isn't gonna happen. Don't worry, it'll blow over. But now that I mentioned it this time, now it's kind of meta ingrained, and now it's gonna kind of stick around. I know. I know how this works. But yeah, I mean, I might look at it, but I don't think I'll probably have ever time to play it. Might be able to look at like a let's play of it, maybe, but no one's really playing it either. So it's pretty difficult. It always is difficult. But you'll keep mentioning it till I play it. Damn. I'm talking for 10 seconds while the characters talk. Boo-hoo. God. You said that last time too. Hey, now you're repeating yourself. But yeah, again, talking while the character's talking. If you do that, you lose the story. If you don't do that, you are silent during it, and you know, if you don't have a webcam, then it's not really reacting. It's just people watching and waiting for your voice reaction, because I don't have a webcam and I don't plan to be a VTuber. I don't plan to have my little avatar in the bottom little left, like down here, and being like, like, this is not an expressive avatar. It just isn't. So it just ain't gonna happen. I'm sorry. Other games though, short games, short story games, those are my cup of tea. I did Firewatch. That one was pretty interesting. Firewatch VR more specifically. You know, just a fan-made VR mod of it. That was fun, but you know, they're all separate, and Mass Effect I'm pretty sure is pretty long. So yeah, but I'm repeating myself. Hey. And now you have to make the same argument. Okay, yeah. No, I'm done. I'm overthinking it. No, I'm done thinking about it. I already thought about it. But yeah, talking, that's the main gimmick of the stream. If I'm not talking, there's no content. Kind of. I mean, again, you could just wait for the reaction, like at the end if I were to wait for talking, but then again, no webcam. It's just my voice. It's like, But in other topics, what other topics are there? We kind of branched off from that, from saving money, the Wii, consoles in general, you know, gosh, what else is going on? I mean, I did get the Quest version of this avatar. I don't think I'm able to actually show it. I don't actually know how good it looks. But I spent a fucking long time trying to patch up holes in the face and stuff for decimating an avatar to make it actually perform well in a gosh darn Quest. But until I start making better points. Wow. All right. Put all the pressure on me, the one person talking. All right. I mean, it's kind of my job. My job is to keep the conversation going, and I historically am really bad at doing that. So let's make that a conversation topic. I'm really bad at starting conversations. Let's have a conversation about that. So I am like, I never DM first, like, for anyone. Like, it's I can't ever like hop in someone's DMs and be like, yo, what's up? Like, I just don't do that. It's so hard to do that. It's impossible. And I'm just horrible at holding conversations. It's just really bad. I get better at it, especially, you know, in VR, and especially when it's like, you know, kind of mutual, and it does help if there's multiple people like in the chat and stuff. But you remember the game, which you won't have to have the same complaint about, Coffee Talk. Stop being relatable. Coffee Talk. I actually, that's the one game that has that one song in it. I swear, I actually I think I heard that song on my drive to the coast, the train station, yeah. Because I have to drive to the train station, gotta play some music. So I think that actually came up in the playlist I was listening to. A Coffee Talk song, I think it was like the most iconic one or whatever. And I was like, oh, this sounds familiar, what is it? And I literally looked at it, I'm like, Coffee Talk, what the hell game is that? I'm like, what the hell? Never heard of it, like literally never. I still don't know what it is. I have zero clue. I just know it's some game and it has some very familiar music to it for some reason. It might have just been because it actually, I might have actually thought of this. I think it might have been because it was taken from like a classical piano piece, maybe, or that might have been a different song. I don't know, but it doesn't have dialogue. It only has text, so it's a narrative novel, I guess, kind of. And you could respond to the text any times, and you can't complain about not talking. Oh, I see. I see what you mean. Oh, okay. You're trying to bring it back onto me. Okay. Yeah, so for those games, you know, you would voice the character as like a streamer. You'd be like, oh, this voice for this. And I'm not really a voice actor, so I can't really do that well. But, I mean, it is a lot better than, you know, actually having to listen to something, because then there's never anything that you miss, because you just always have to press the dialogue to continue. You're not going to accidentally press and then miss something. I mean, you might, but it's not going to happen like dialogue will if you accidentally say your thought and then you miss a very important piece of what they said, you know, stuff like that. But it helps. I'm the only one here. hey, just because I'm in Fantasyland in the clouds doesn't mean that you could be putting this all on me. Hey, I don't know. I gotta get used to it. But still, you are putting me on the spot here, which is kind of the point. But yeah, those types of games are a lot easier, but they're still kind of story based, so they're still kind of hard because, yeah, I don't know. It's just story games. I can't really stream story games that well. At least ones that have a lot of like literal story in them. Firewatch is kind of a story game, but it's more a adventure game, so it's more gameplay than it is, you know, story. So that one worked pretty well, but you know, for a lot of others, it doesn't really. So that's why I typically avoid those. That's why I'm always doing sandbox games too. Those are always fun. I get my tracker there. But yeah, you'll just not talk then? Damn. Alright, yeah, I'll just talk to the camera alone. Which I actually might be able to do. But it gets a little more difficult. But as is of this small streamer, you always gotta prepare for the worst. I'm also kind of like moving around a lot, I notice. I do need to walk around a bit more, but I do notice I kind of sway a lot. Let me just kind of walk around a little bit. But yeah, story games, not my cup of tea. I mean, they're good. One Shot was really good. I really liked that one, actually. I did get stuck on one puzzle, though. I'm not going to say what puzzle it was, but it was because I had an application running that kind of overrode something, and you have to, like, disable the application for it to actually, like, progress the game. That kind of sucked. I was so lost because I didn't want spoilers, but I had to look it up because I couldn't figure out the puzzle. But You can't keep saying I can't stream story games when I've never seen you stream story games. Hey, I have a YouTube. You could watch the VODs. And I'm not saying all story games are bad. I'm just saying the long ones are kind of hard to do because, again, it'll take a ton of time to get through it because, one, I have to be streaming, and two, I'd have to be in the mood to do that story game. And if it's 20 hours, it's gonna take a good couple of months, even assuming that I were to stream like once or twice a week. Like, you know. But, you don't believe me. You think I could stream story games and I'm just overthinking it? Alright. So, go to my YouTube. I have a VODs folder, like a little playlist VODs. And then you can scroll through all that. That's all my old VODs. A lot of it's coding and stuff, but part of it's Yakuza 0. That's not as much a story game. But there was Firewatch. That was, again, technically story. And I don't know if there's really any other story games I really did. At least not on stream. Like a story game? I don't know. I just don't really do many story games. Actually, the most recent, like, story game that I completed just, like, out of fun was probably Nier Automata, which is actually a freaking... It's a pretty decent game. I mean, the gameplay, decent. The music, whew, the story, oh, like, man, that was freaking wild. But that's like, I didn't stream that because it was kind of story heavy. But it had a lot of gameplay to it. Hello, Delta Tonic. I appreciate you for stopping by, hanging out. Again, I'm just gonna audit you. I don't know if you're one of the people that are, you know, just browsing like the small streamers, but if you are, I really appreciate you. And if you aren't, still appreciate you because you're stopping by. And, you know, the people that just check out the small streamers are saints. I just have to keep repeating that because you guys are really awesome. Doubly Dangerous. All right, have a good one. I appreciate you for stopping by. I hope everything's going to be going well for you, too. And hopefully I'll be able to see you around, too. Or again, soon. Around, too. I used the wrong word there. But proof that I don't have enough experience to make an argument. Hey, I've done it before, and I know it's not my cup of tea. That's my argument. Believe me, bro. Trust me. Just trust me, bro. That's my argument, okay? I could try. If you look at the Yakuza 0, there are, like, cutscenes, and I did try to voice them, but I didn't really, like... again, it was pretty hard to follow the story. Because I'm voicing them, and I'm trying to provide commentary at the same time. Especially because, you know, it's all subtitled, so I actually have to read it, or else I'm gonna miss it. So I can't actually say anything during it, because I have to voice them. So, you know. You want to see me try? But I did try. You could watch the VODs, right? Okay, but maybe I'll consider it, but I need to find a game to do. And Mass Effect is just too big of a game. I need something short and small, so I don't start it and then never complete it. That's what I gotta do. That's how it works. That's how I work. I don't know. I don't know. I might be a very, very low majority of, like, I don't know, people or streamers in general. Like, I just can't focus on a story and enjoy it while also having to talk to a stream. And then I just have the, you know, the paradox of, well, if I'm not streaming, then I'm not productive. So I guess I'm just not doing story games. Unless they're short. But, hello, Techno Lion. Midnight Munchies, damn. Is it? Oh, yeah, it's actually... It's 10:15 on Pacific time. Yeah. Getting those Eastern folk. It's always the Eastern people, too, that, like, stop by the stream. Eastern, Central, Mountain, whatever. But it's always the later people. I don't know why you're up. I don't know. Sleep schedules or whatever. But, partly because you love interacting with a streamer rather than hearing a French man rage at gambling all day. True. But yeah, I appreciate you for, you know, hanging out. yeah, that's literally the reason why Axel's here too. They found me because, you know, talking, it's hard to interact with a streamer. If they're too big, they're just gonna miss your chat message. It's just how it works. That's just the unfortunate thing about a bunch of people trying to chat at the same time and one person reading it. But yeah, it's only 120 hours in total. I thought it was only like 20 hours. I'll be real here. I thought I thought Mass Effect might have been like 20 hours. I don't know if you're talking about the whole series, but 120. Holy shit, that would take. So if I average, how much hours? I think I maybe average like 15. Well, not 15. Maybe like 25 hours. Well, that's actually kind of a stretch. 20 to 25 hours a month of streaming. 120 hours. And all of that being specifically Mass Effect. Whew. Whew. Damn. You're talking about the entire thing. Okay, I see. Without drama. I see. But still, goddamn. That's why I always like the shorter stuff. Because if I start something, then I feel bad if I don't complete it, but then I also don't have time to complete it, so I just always just another thing to feel bad about. So I'm like, I just stay away from it. Unfortunately, that's how it goes for me. For a lot of things, actually. Like, if I know that it has historically made me feel bad, like watching shows, if I watch too many like episodes, more than like 2, and I'm not being productive while doing it, then it's like, I just feel bad. I don't even know why. It's just, you know, it's strange. But I'm too aware, so it is kind of a blessing that I'm aware of that. So I don't do it again. I don't feel bad about it, so I know what to avoid. I know exactly what I need to do. I just need to be productive. That's the only thing I need to do. You'd watch it though. But yeah, generalizing, but smaller streamers are more humbling. Yeah. Binging the college assignments. True, I know, right? I just did those too. But haven't found the right chatters for streaming a story game. Well, it's not like I've been like put off by like someone while I was streaming a story game. It's just that I just don't feel I just can't do story games. I don't know. I can't talk. I can't get ingrained in the story if I'm thinking and having to think out loud and talking to chat and everyone. Because I could stream it, but then if I want to get really immersed, of course, I just don't even pay attention. I would just be like, okay, this guy's saying this thing during this, because also it's not all going to be cutscenes. There's going to be, you know, additional things like character dialogue, I would assume, like in the actual gameplay. Like, I'd probably miss that. It's like, ah, damn it. World building. Fuck. You know? I don't know if you know. I always say you know, but I've reiterated this a few times. I know you're trying to get me into Mass Effect. Again, I'll look into it because I don't really know much about it, but it's a story game. It's like, yeah. So it's you know, it's that. But Coffee Talk is all cutscenes. Well, I mean, doesn't that effectively make it like a visual novel then? It's all cutscenes? That's literally a visual novel, isn't it? That's like me playing Doki Doki Literature Club. Like, I don't think I'd be able to pull that off either. Or, well, I mean, I guess I might. I mean, yeah, that's different than voice acting because you don't miss things, because you can pause, you can just stick on that dialogue, but, you know, that stuff. I say you know a lot, too. I just try to end everything with, you know, just so I don't have to elaborate further. That's my go-to, I realize. I do a lot of self-analysis, too. I'm always, like, self-correcting. Again, that might be a detriment to myself. It might be also a plus, who knows? Probably both, but it's definitely a visual novel. Yeah, it sounded like it. You'd watch a DDLC stream. It's what a DDLC? DLC. Never heard of it. I don't know acronyms. Oh, Doki Doki Literature Club. I see. Yeah. You'd watch it. Yeah, I think I watched like not even Markiplier, probably like Jacksepticeye play that game. I used to watch a lot of Jacksepticeye back in the day. You know, I grew out of it, but you know, like Fran Bow, Doki Doki, freaking. Was I watching Five Nights at Freddy's with Markiplier or Jacksepticeye? I don't remember, but you know, all that sort of stuff. I kind of followed those like stories through again, Let's Player, not actually playing the game, but uninstalled it the first 5 minutes. It was all dialogue and called it ass. Yeah, I mean, all the streamers that started it were specifically told like, trust me, bro, we can't tell you anything about it, but you need to keep going. It's like, there's just like, it's hard because there's no real pull. The only pull is if you're actually into those sorts of games, which I feel like is kind of a small audience. It has to be something real special. Like visual novels, I can't. No, it's basically reading a book, but with, you know, moving, like, you know, the little characters that hop whoop, whoop, while they talk. They kind of just switch pose, like, oh, hey. It's like they make the little sound. I'm like, fuck, no, I can't. Please, I need to do something else. Like that's the mega time sink that I don't even want to touch. Like it might be a good story, but geez, I can't. You still watch Jacksepticeye occasionally. You like playing dialogue-only games. You actively search for them. Damn. Yeah, so that's like one big difference then. I know, like, I brought up a lot of things that we relate to, but like, dude, visual novel, dialogue-only games, it's not really a game at that point. For me personally, I just can't get into it. It has to be mostly gameplay, or at least like 50% for me, at least personally. Like I've looked into, I remember the Digimon game like came up. My sister was talking about it. It's like, I don't know. There's like some gameplay to it. I think it's like some weird tactics gameplay, but it was like mostly visual novel. And I'm like, oh. Yeah, all the reviews said like, oh, it's a good game, but you need to be into visual novels to like it, because it's 80% visual novels. It's like, oh, never mind then. But yeah, go read a damn book, exactly. or better yet, work on something productive. No, I'm not saying that it's not productive. Again, that's just me personally, but if I were doing that, I'd feel, again, really bad. Same with me watching shows. I'm not doing something productive, so it's like, why am I doing this? I need to do something else, like code or stream or, yeah, I don't know. You know, I say you know. I keep doing that. But you bought one recently and it was meh. Yeah. Because with visual novels, it's kind of hard because you have to rely on the viewers or the reviews, but you also got to make sure you rely on non-spoiler reviews. So it's like you can't really tell if it's for you or not, and you just have to trust them. Trust the source. Trust me, bro. And workaholic. Yeah, I use that term a lot. That is exactly me. But you wish games had more dialogue and less gameplay. You like games for stories and characters. That's why you play the game. Interesting. I mean, RimWorld is a story generator, but it is technically all gameplay, right? I don't know if that might be like one of your exceptions, or maybe it's like it's technically a story. I don't know how you consider RimWorld then. That's one thing that I always considered RimWorld to be. It's a sandbox game. I never really thought of it to be like, you know, anything story-based. Like, it's 100% gameplay, basically. You just kind of make up the story yourself, right? But, yeah. You crunched working classes today. Yo, I did too. I already talked about it a little earlier, and we moved on from it, because school sucks, but I did have a midterm a couple hours ago, and it kind of sucked. Um, but yeah, the story was interesting, but there just wasn't enough, and the ending was disappointing. Oof. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, story games are so. That's another thing with story games. So you don't want to get spoiled, but without getting spoiled, you have no clue how good it is. With gameplay, you could look at gameplay and you could be like, oh yeah, I'd be into this. You could get hints at story and it wouldn't be too spoilery, but you know, there's such a weird balance. You just have to hit it like hard. You have to sink in that time, and if it doesn't pan out, then it's like, crap, I wasted some time. But you have to be like willing to do that, I think, for dialogue games and stuff. You have the same issue with books. You dislike the endings of the books you read. Yeah, again, spoilers. It just kind of sucks. You can't really know the ending without spoiling, and then there's no reason to read the book. So yeah, stuff's always kind of really difficult to do. I was gonna say something else, but I kind of got sidetracked with the books for some reason. my train of thought not as good. 4 hours of sleep, so again, that's just an excuse for me to use because maybe I'm just not good at talking to a camera at all times. I just kind of forgot what I was gonna say with the story games, but Battle Royale. That's a complete... Yeah, we could talk about all the genres. That's actually a really good topic. Just talking about all the game genres. Like, story games, they're really good when they hit hard. Oh, I was going to talk about Outer Wilds. Yeah, it's called Outer Wilds. I always mix it up with Outer Worlds because those two were actually kind of... They even acknowledge it themselves. Oh, right hand. Hi. Outer Wilds is technically a very story-heavy game, but the story is ingrained in the gameplay. That is my ideal game, where it's not dialogue, but it is story. Like, you are playing the game for the story. Like, you're not just doing random shit. I mean, I guess it is adventure, too. I mean, yeah, I guess a big part of it is adventure. But, you know, the story patches it together and you learn things. If you haven't played Outer Wilds yet, like, you know, again... you never know if it's for you or not. Except with this one, it's kind of easier to determine because you know the gameplay. The gameplay is you explore in a spaceship, you know? But the story, you know, can't really say anything about it without spoiling. But that is actually a really good game. That's one of my favorite games of all time. Because it's an adventure game and you just learn stuff and it's just super cool figuring stuff out. But, you saw Outer Wilds on my VOD list. It was a game that you just never got hooked to. Something that you knew existed, but you never actively looked into it. Yeah, so if you're into, like... Yeah, because, again, when you're recommending a story-based game like Outer Wilds, you have to be very roundabout with what you say. Like, I can only generally say, if you like sci-fi, if you like... environmental, like it's literally all environmental storytelling. There's literally like zero dialogue. I mean, there's like a town and everything. You talk to people, but that's like a very small part. You know, it's hard to say that, but if you're into like exploring things, if you're into adventure, then you might like Outer Wilds. It's a good story attached to an adventure game. But again, can't really say anything about the story because that's the iffy part about it. To get back to Delta Tonics, yeah, competitive games for me, I can't do any competitive games. Battle Royale, well, I mean, I could, like, friendly-wise, but I won't, like, ever for fun. Like, Battle Royale, PvP, can't do it. I get too mad at myself. I actually mentioned that last stream, too, but I get too mad at myself. Any genre that's, like, multiplayer competitive, can't. I stay away from it, because it makes me... it's one of those things. It makes me less happy than if I were to play it and like win, you know? There's just too much bad compared to good for me personally. But yeah. Stalker, open world games that detail surviving calculative tactics. Yeah, so that's Stalker, I'm not too familiar with the game. I know of it. And I kind of know the gist of it. Yeah, Stalker's like an interesting one. It's kind of like Fallout, I think, where it's a survival game. But the story, I don't know how big the story is for that. Stalker is kind of more like, is more heavily gameplay, I would assume. Kind of like Fallout. Fallout is more heavily gameplay than something like Outer Wilds, which is adventure where you discover a story, or of course, visual novel, because visual novels are visual novels. But you try avoiding games that include any fighting, yeah. But fighting is just so connected to all games, you can't avoid it. You would love a version of Mass Effect without the shooting, like a visual novel. Huh. I mean, the things they have now, like the, was it Part 2? What is it called? The Last of Us Part 2. The Game of the Year. Ooh. Game of the Year, supposedly. Rigged vote, by the way. No, I'm kidding. But The Last of Us Part 2. That announcer's voice is ingrained in my mind. I've watched too many like meme videos of that, but they have like people were joking about how it's like journalist mode, where you could literally just like never die. They just have a setting in the game that's like peaceful mode. You just kind of run through the world. Of course, there's dialogue in the world, so you're still kind of playing it, but you easily get through it because you're like invincible or whatever. Or it's super easy, but they have those options. But for Last of Us Part 2, that's a big gameplay thing. So if you do just throw that out, then you get the story, and then the story is like part of the story is supposed to be you went through the trials and tribulations of having to get the gameplay, having to get good at it or whatever, but. Yeah. The Stalker story is an anomaly hitting Ukraine, special forces maintaining the area. Kind of like SCP, I guess. Leading to the main character choosing the ending they wish. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like Fallout, yeah. An environment, you could pick your path, kind of. I'm sure there's quests and stuff. I would assume, since it's open world, there is quests. It's not just like, you go here. Can't go anywhere else. You could, but there's nothing to really do there except grind or whatever. So I'd assume it's one of those cases. But yeah, if you remove the gameplay aspect to some games, it just kind of wipes out the entire purpose of the actual thing, right? Like, you could just read a story about like Outer Wilds, but then it's like there's no point. What are other good examples? Like, I don't know. There aren't, I don't know too many examples, because again, I don't really play story-based games. Nier Automata, again, I said that gameplay was decent and the story was great. If you cut out the gameplay, or, set it to super easy, it'd still be pretty decent. There has to be some sort of, like, balance there. I don't think you have really, really good gameplay with a really, really good story. I don't think that ever really happens, or at least not in my knowledge. I don't think there's, at least not that I know of. If there is, that'd be amazing, but I don't think there's ever been a game that I know of that is really good at both. One of them has to lack in some way or another, because, people have to focus on one thing, right? At least I think so. But you played Mass Effect exclusively on the easiest difficulty. And, okay, yeah, that's interesting. And then you despise how much people hate on people who play on easy difficulties. I just want to play the game that's most accessible, and it just means playing on very easy. Yeah. Yeah, if you're just into the story, then yeah, for sure. And then still easy mode is still, there's still gameplay there. Of course, it's not like, oh, I died, I have to redo this again. It gets frustrating if you have to keep doing this over and over again. But to some people, that is like a draw to it. It's like, oh, I gotta master this, and then I have to beat the final boss, and then it's going to take a few times, but I'm going to master this boss, and then I'm going to get to the end of the story. And then for some people, it's going to be like, okay, I don't want to have to do this over and over again. I just want to, figure out this. I want to know what the story is because, I don't want to have to bother min-maxing a boss. Like, geez, man. We're doing as much work as is. No, that's completely respectable. Of course, there are always people that hate on other people that do specific things, like, oh, the console people, oh, they suck, or the PC players, ugh, emulators, ugh. Easy mode, disgusting. Stuff like that. But I think that's a thing for, like, most, kind of non-norms. Like, every single thing is gonna have some sort of, bad stigma to it just from someone because it's funny, or they actually think it is, or they think their opinion of playing the game's better. Like, you didn't truly experience this game. It's like, well, I did. I just experienced it the way I wanted. But imagine Far Cry without a story. I did actually play like 1 or 2 streams of Far Cry 5. And, like, yeah. I mean, Far Cry 5 is, again, like, kind of like Fallout. It's all quests, so you have to have it attached with stories. And then again, it is still, like, it'd probably be a fun sandbox a little bit, but it'd get pretty boring pretty quickly. I mean, you could capture stuff, but then once you capture the stuff, then it's like, oh, what was the point if there was no story? But yeah, no, I get you. You get to pew pew and they die easy. Perfect, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it depends on the person, of course. You can do whatever you want. Don't let anyone freaking yell at you for doing whatever. You could play RimWorld on peaceful difficulty. I don't mind, alright? Tynan Sylvester might say that that's not the point, but if you just want to build a cool base, more power to you. I've actually never played RimWorld on, like, peaceful difficulty. I always try to do at least, like, a normal difficulty because I am kind of pressured. I do like the challenge, though, at least a little bit, but I never go hard difficulties. I try not to. I mean, RimWorld's kind of an exception a little bit because Randy Random on hard's actually somewhat easy if you get lucky in some cases. And with mods, it gets easier too, so it doesn't, like, scale properly. But in general, hard difficulties, absolutely not for me. It's like, well, you're kind of ruining the gameplay. You're making it hard for no reason, right? There has to be some sort of curve that isn't super pro gamer where you have to do one specific strategy to win this, because if you do any other strategy, then it's going to be way too hard because, yeah. If you get too hard in difficulty, you're going to start min-maxing and it doesn't get as much fun. You might be interested in that stuff, but for most people, I don't think you want to know the meta. The meta, if you have to know the meta, then I think it starts getting not fun. At least, like, the first playthrough. If you need to know meta on the first playthrough, I think it's actually a bad experience. I think that's a pretty good statement that I made, I guess. I think that's a good, like, idea there. If you have to know meta to the game, then it's probably there's gotta be some sort of bad gameplay, because it didn't push you towards it, and if it did, it gave you another option that's just not as viable for some reason. So, yeah, it's weird. You played Skyrim and Fallout 3 on the easiest difficulties, had a great time. I mean, that is a really big, whoa, there I go, bye. Where the fuck? Whoa, I just flew away. It has to happen once a stream, full body. It'd be like that. But, yeah, I mean, that's a big sandbox game. I could definitely understand, like, oh, I don't want to have to deal, if I die, like, in the middle of this field, I'm gonna have to spawn all the way back at town. I don't want to do that, right? Like, that would suck. And it does suck. I've had that happen many times. But yeah, you do play RimWorld on the Life is Suffering difficulty. Wow, on the hardest difficulty, I believe. Because you got bored so easily when it was an in-game month for a single raid. Yeah, it's kind of strange. I always thought RimWorld, at least in the beginning, like the beta, it was scaled. Like Strive to Survive was pretty darn hard. Maybe because I added too many mods now, but now, you know, Blood and Dust or whatever, the one step above that is supposed to be quite a bit harder, is kind of more like the step below back then. I don't know. It feels weird. There has to be some sort of difficulty balance though, because like for something like RimWorld, you don't want to get obliterated off the face of the planet just outright all the time if it's too hard. But then you also don't want to, you know, be sitting there doing nothing, twiddling your thumbs, freaking nothing's happening. I'm just building a base and resource farming. It's like, I mean, again, some people are into that. I do like resource games. I like sandbox games. That's one of the big genres I like. Strategy, I guess, in general. But yeah, you gotta have a balance. If it's too easy, then you're just grinding for nothing because there's nothing to grind for. So, yeah. Am I pitting? Is there a collision here? No, I think I'm just like, I don't know, some tracking things like boop, like a millimeter to the left or something. But you're the person who quick saves constantly. Yeah, because with RimWorld specifically, you know, one thing can go wrong, it could ruin like your colony forever. Like, oh crap, like one simple mistake. Again, like with my dog in Area 1, the dog is so obedient that if you set them to Area 1 while there's a raid going on and you forget about them, they will starve themselves to death because they are that obedient of a dog. Like, why? And also, you know, if you didn't even do that, then the dog just runs into enemy fire and they get shot and killed by a freaking raider. It's like, well, that was super avoidable, but that was just my bad because I wasn't, you know, I wasn't, what's it called? You know, why am I blanking on the word? It's, you know, micromanaging, yeah. I wasn't micromanaging where the dog was during this raid while I was managing all these colonists with guns, you know? It's like that sort of stuff. It always kind of sucks. I do appreciate the follow, Delta. Sorry, I always miss these because VR, I can't see the alerts on the screen. I know they're up here somewhere, though. Maybe. I hope. Assuming the thing's set up correctly, but it is. We checked last time. But, yeah. You play the games differently than what most people would do. You reload if anything bad happens. Yeah. I typically... I think I'm kind of the same with RimWorld in specific, but... There's like some... Jesus. There's like some sort of tolerance. Like, you know, there's... you know, something very avoidable happened that was a result of me not micromanaging it. Then I would, like, auto reload. Or, you know, reload the autosave, I mean. But then it comes to stuff like, you know, a colonist gets shot because, you know, it's just a hard raid and it just ends up happening. Then I start weighing my options. It's like, okay, is it still going to be fun without that colonist? Is it going to be fun rebuilding without that person? Or is it going to be a pain in the butt and is it not going to be fun anymore? If it is not going to be fun anymore, or I think it's not going to be, then I reload again. If it is going to be fun, like if it's a bad colonist that died or a colonist that has a replacement technically, but, you know, it was unfortunate that they died, RimWorld does adapt, you know, they calm down if a colonist dies. They're like, yo, it's okay. I'm gonna hold back a little bit. Randy Random though, he throws punches. But yeah, it's just comes to personal preference. As long as you're having fun, that's what matters. That's the moral of this story, of this topic. As long as you're playing the game and having fun, have fun. Freaking buy whatever you want. As long as you're not crippling yourself into debt or whatever. That kind of goes hand in hand with like the compulsive saver or spender thing. Don't spend yourself into like a freaking hole, but also don't save where you're not having any fun. Find a balance. I also remember seeing a meme how it was like when you're in a meeting and if you just say, well, you gotta find a balance between the two things, and then everyone just always agrees with you. That's kind of the case in this thing. There's always a balance. Just do the balance. It's that easy. No, the balance is hard to find, and it's a bitch to find. Trust me. I learned the hard way. Like, I'm on that workaholic, like, I could balance more. Ooh! Yo, I'm gone. I could balance more, like, recreational stuff, but I'm just kind of stuck on this work stuff because I feel like maybe it'll be, better in the future. And it is not like, it's a hobby work. It's not like work, right? I'm doing productive things, but, I'm picking and choosing. But while you were playing RimWorld, you had a raider appear with a relationship, and you had to reload 30 times to make sure they lived. Oh my god. I mean, yeah, that is kind of part of the story, though, because you're like, okay, please... Oh, I thought you meant the gun. Sorry. I thought you meant, like, reload the gun 30 times because you were trying to shoot around them, but you always missed or something. No, you meant reload the save. Yeah, I mean, in that case, yeah, that is just avoiding, like, a social minus mood debuff, but it's like... For some people that'd be like, okay, come on now, just kill the person, just deal with the debuff. But if you want to do it that way, if you want to figure out like it might be luck as well, it might be kind of a little bit of gambling, it probably is too, but if you want to like figure out the way to save this person in specific, like, oh, maybe I have to have this colonist run this way so my colonists can go this way, so it distracts the relationship, but they don't actually shoot, so they run away, and then they shoot, and then, they flee after half are gone, all that stuff. It could be strategy. It could be part of the game, too. It's just strategizing stuff. Or it's just luck, and again, gambling in and of itself is kind of like, ooh, fun to... some people. To a lot of people on Twitch, apparently, who fucking watch casino games. I don't understand that. I mean, I guess they kind of banned it, I think. But, like, freaking casino games, like, what? You watch someone play the slots. Just play the slots yourself or something. Like, I don't know. That stuff's weird. But that's how dedicated you are to get things going how you like them. There was a Bolts of Good trader, and they had 2 people with grenades, so you kept downing them. And they would get killed from the grenades afterwards, and it was so annoying. Oh, okay. Oh, you mean like the raiders. Yeah, they kept, like, throwing him. Damn. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Yeah, I mean, it's like... It's what you make out of the game. Do you want to have to reload it every single time? Because that's kind of like making the difficulty harder. You're going for a very specific action to happen. It's kind of in your control, but you have to figure out how to do it. That's kind of like a hard difficulty in like freaking, I don't know, Elden Ring or something. You have to figure out how to beat this boss. Gotta throw out these swords and stuff, but... I didn't play Elden Ring. I did watch. That was one of the few games I watched beginning to end. 100 hours. 110 hours gameplay that I freaking watched. God, that was a freaking binge and a half. that was a wild stream. But, hello, Caleb. You. Who are you? Why are we saying you? You. How am I? I'm doing all right. How about you? You. I need like an angry emote. I still need to get like a sad emote and a angry emote for this avatar, but I do have my good old kind of glare sort of look. The gesture is actually just called a look. The avatar is still a work in progress, but you are you? Who am I? I know you are, but what am I? I don't know. You want your happily ever after? Exactly. Again, it depends on how you play the game, but who am I? I don't know. Who am I? Well, oh god, I just suddenly got existential. Like, well, do you know if I'm real? Technically not. Technically, you only know that yourself is real. But I don't know if we want to get into existential stuff right now. But I'm just a person, you know, on VR chat. I'm only just recently streaming VR chat, so the chatting stream's pretty new. Talking a lot is kind of also new, but I do a bunch of other stuff. Workaholic again, ton of stuff. But if you're me and you're you, I can't be you. Yeah, you're not me, but if I'm you, then that means who am I? Yeah, Doritos. Job successful. Existential crises introduced. Now let me hop out of the chat. Bye, guys. Imagine being a viewer that's like, yo, have you thought about this? By the way, bye. No. That'd be pretty funny, actually. Just drop a bomb in the chat and be like, fucking make a run for it. That's a pretty good concept, though. Just fucking mess with the chat. It's not trolling, but you know, it's kind of is. It's interesting. But daily fact: the continental plains move at the same rate fingernails grow. Yeah, that's like 35 centimeters a year or something. I remember it was mentioned very specifically on like some very specific video I watched. I think it might have been Kyrgyzstan, maybe. Those science videos, I really like those on YouTube. The animated videos with all the birds and all the... those are really good videos, by the way. If you're interested in science and technology, Kyrgyzstan, just don't ask me how to spell it. Pangea too, though. But yeah, supercontinent may form. The continents are continuously moving a few centimeters. Oh, it's just a few. I didn't even read the rest of it. I thought it was like 35. It might be 3.5. Maybe I got that wrong. But yeah, eventually we're all going to collide back together, and there's going to be a big old mountain, and then... I don't know. Who knows? I ain't no planet scientist. I'm just a person. I was gonna say I'm just a computer scientist, but no, that's saying way too much. Like, I major in computer science, but does that mean I'm a computer scientist? Fuck no, it doesn't. Like, what does that even mean anyways? A scientist in computers? That is a very strange term. Computer scientist. It seems kind of like also, I don't know, God, I keep forgetting words for stuff, but the opposite of humble, you know? But yeah, stuff like that. Gameplay, all that stuff's good. It is starting to get late. I know, Caleb, you just got here, but it is 11 for me, and I have been streaming for almost 3 hours. Holy fuck. I thought it was 2.5. No, it's 3 hours. Okay. Well, I will probably just have to get off now. I do appreciate you for stopping by, though. I do really appreciate it, like, a lot. The VR chat streams are dope. You are also Pacific time. Dope. Yeah, Pacific time zone. There's a lot Eastern time zone folk that join in. It's like 2 a.m. It's like, bro, please sleep. Even though I'm up at like 4 a.m. But you haven't been able to play it due to lack of people. For D&D, yeah, again, that's like the roleplay thing where you need a group of people to actually, you know, get introduced, and then you have to coordinate a schedule, and that shit's actually really hard. That's why I prefer, like, VR stuff. VR stuff is drop in, If you've looked in the VR chat category, Aether Chronicles is a drop-in VR roleplay game. Or, not game, but, you know, roleplay thing. So, you could technically just join the server, join in a medium avatar, and just roleplay as anyone. And that's always fun, because, you know, you always know they're always going to be there at this specific time, and you could be there or you don't have to be there. There's no pressure. So, you know, there's things. That's why I've never really done D&D either, because, you know, scheduling. It has to be kind of in person too, so kind of fuck that. But I skimmed that message definitely. You played it a while ago, but that's kind of like D&D. Nowhere is complicated. Has multiplayer up to 5 players, I think. Yeah, I definitely skimmed the shit out of that message. I just wanted to mention D&D again. How that attaches to the roleplay, but I do have to get off. That's why I kind of trying to get through stuff. I don't want to get too ingrained in another topic, because sometimes it's pretty easy to get a topic going, but now I don't know. I have to learn what's good to talk about. Especially because it's literally VR and chatting in the title. I have to learn how to do that. But I hope you have a good rest of your day, night, evening, afternoon, or morning. I appreciate you for stopping by. Of course, I will, you know, do my nice camera stare while my tracking probably dies. But I will also try to attempt. God, this is such a weird angle. And the avatar looks so bad at this angle. Look at me. Okay, there I go. No, I'm gone now. Don't even mind me. I'm broken in the corner. But yeah. I have to hydrate before I end the stream. No. Alright. Just because you ask. I'm a man of the people. Let me take a sip of this water. Look, watch me choke on it this time, and it's all gonna be because of you, Axel. Hold on. There we go. I nearly did. I nearly did. I'm trying to drink quietly because I don't want to mute my microphone. That's a lot of effort. I have to press the button and stuff. It's like, nah, I'm not going to do that. But, how dare you make sure I'm hydrated? Nah, I don't need water anyways. I got plenty of, I don't know, I photosynthesize, even though that technically needs water. Don't even think about it, alright? I hope you have a good rest of your day, night, evening, afternoon, morning. I'm going to try to press the stop stream button now, but Sakati.dev/hub for the Discord. All those updates are going to go there. You know, typical stuff. In the About Me section, you know, I do a bunch of shit. Workaholic and everything. Alright. But yeah, the game's called Wildermyth. Check it out if you get the chance. Probably missed that message too. Yeah, I did. But yeah. Wildermyth, interesting. I know there's like Tabletop Simulator, but I've never really heard of Wildermyth and stuff. You have to shorten your messages because I'm skimming. I'm trying to... I need to like... I don't know. Alright. I'm pressing the button. I'm pressing it. If I can... Almost. Ooh, what? It's really hard. Yeah. If you were able to see my overlay, this is like pixel perfect accuracy, by the way. Fucking. No, just watch me fail. Oh, it's right next to the start virtual camera button too. Oh my fucking god. Hold on. I'm gonna get this.